Hello, welcome back. Let's see, where do we begin? This was a bit of a slog to get started today. I just had a lot of little pieces to mess with, and so it took me a second. So apologies there for the small delay getting rolling. But here we are. If you can see me or hear me, or you're having trouble seeing or hearing me, now is a good time to say something. But what we have today is a big and crunchy game. You might have noticed we have a little bit of branding now, moving up in the world. Got a little bit of categorization going on. We can talk a little bit about that. Yeah, so I'm trying to put a little bit of order to my chaos, making sure that I adjust, that I not adjust, that I making sure that I'm looking at the full spectrum of my game collection when I am planning what I'm going to stream. And that includes things that are coming through the door, right? So I have a lot of different categories that I have configured, like 5 different categories. See if I can remember them off the top of my head. Well, you know Big and Crunchy. Big and Crunchy is today. We are playing Glen 2, Highland Games. Highland Games is a new-ish expansion, a couple years old. Haven't gotten to the table yet. Brand new to me, the expansion. I have played Glenmore, the base game, Glenmore 2 specifically, the base game many, many times, and I adore it. So while I have a really good solid grasp of the base game, the expansion and the new solo opponent, I don't have a very good grasp on at all. I actually was one of the people that helped play test this solo opponent. I contributed some ideas to it. I don't know if it doesn't feel like many of those ideas, the newish ideas I was trying to introduce to it stuck. They didn't accept them, but that's fine. Toma Factory knows what they're doing, or Automa Factory knows exactly what they're doing. They're professionals, and my ideas worked well. I have a community mod solo opponent out there from before they even released one. So you can go find that on BGG if you want to play my version. It doesn't take into account the expansion, the Highland Games expansion though. So just bear that in mind. But if you're just playing the base game, give it a run, see if you like it. But this opponent, from what I've seen, does almost everything that I wanted it to do, with a little bit more complexity than I would have preferred. Because if you know me, I like solo opponent AIs that don't get in my way, that don't eat a lot of my cognitive requirements. This one does a passable job at that, I must say. It's nowhere close to a David Turchi solo. So I think it pulls it off. This is a fairly mid to mid-heavy game. I wouldn't say it's really mid-heavy. It's not pushing 4. I would say it's closer to 3 than 4, depending on the blend of things. We'll get into the game in a moment, but let's back up and talk categories, right? So we're in big and crunchy mode today. We're looking at a big and crunchy game. But there are occasions, and you'll look back at my streaming history, you can go back to the videos where, on YouTube, by the way, if you're not following me there, subscribing to me there, please do. Where I don't have the cognitive load to play a big game, or I'm just not in the mood to play a big game, or I want to make sure that I'm looking at other types of games in my collection and making sure that I'm putting out content that I think a broad array of people might be interested in. And that includes doing smaller family weight games sometimes. That includes doing lighter weight games and other things. So I have big and crunchy. I have small and quick. So you might see a small and quick. I have a shiny and new. And shiny and new is an interesting one. And small and quick. By the way, you'll notice these categories are one or the other, right? It's either it can be either or it can be both. Big and crunchy can be big and crunchy, or big or crunchy, right? That doesn't necessarily have to be a big game for it to be crunchy. It doesn't have to be a crunchy game to be big. So this category allows me to kind of say, well, it's either a big game or a crunchy game. It goes in this bucket. Small and quick, same deal. It can be a small game, take forever. It can be a quick game that is not very small. So again, small and quick. And then what did I say? Small and quick, big and crunchy, shiny and new. Shiny and new. I could buy a smaller, lighter weight game or small form factor game that has been blinged out to the max, and it just came through the door. So that's shiny and new, right? Or it could just be a new game, just showed up, and I want to feature it. Doesn't matter what it is, it's just new, so I'm going to put it on the table. So shiny and new. So that's 3, right? Shiny and new. What was my 5th one? I know. Hey, Blood Boiler, welcome back in. I'm kind of talking about my new branding a little bit. If you were here on kind of waiting for the stream to start, you might have seen a little bit of categorization added to the starting student screen, kind of giving people a taste of what's to come. The 4th one, and I was trying to save this for the last one. I can't remember where the 5th one is right now, and I don't want to spend a lot of time noodling on it. It'll probably come to me later. But my last category is odds and ends. So if it's just a game I feel like doing, if it's a random print and play game, if it's I want to start designing a solo mode for a game that doesn't have one, maybe, and I want to start streaming that. Odds and ends is my kind of catch-all trash can bucket that says, I just feel like messing around today. And I don't use it too often. What I'm probably going to do is use that for like the 5th Sunday of a month. There's only a few of those. So I figured, why not? We can maybe use those odds and ends for those kinds of oddball 5th weeks in a month. My plan is to kind of take these 5 and cycle through them semi-regularly so that I'm not just doing big games all the time. I'm not doing just small games, not doing just new games, but trying to, oh, that's right, the last one, and one that I actually really like a lot. I remember the 4th one, and that's Goats and Classics. Goats meaning greatest of all time, and classics. It can be a greatest of all time game and maybe not considered to be a classic game, or could be a classic game and not necessarily considered to be a goat. But that's that 4th category that I couldn't remember. I have art for all of these. You will see them show up on stream as I select games to play in those categories. And hopefully it's going to keep my streaming schedule well-rounded. It should be full spectrum, hopefully, and give everybody a taste of the types of games that they enjoy playing the most. So that's the goal. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah, so here we are. Now let's talk today. We're playing a big and crunchy game. Today is Glen 2 Highland Games. And as I talked about at the top of the stream, I know Glen 2 very, very well. I do not know the Highland Games expansion that came out recently at all. And I do not know the new solo opponent beyond the very brief playtesting I helped contribute to while the Automa Factory was designing it. But I haven't seen it in years. So we'll see. What I do remember and what I do recall seeing in other people's streams is that the Automa is brutal. Thankfully, it seems to come with some difficulty settings that we were going to use. I was thinking I would just do this on easy mode. There is an easiest mode, an easy mode, like a normal / hard, and then hard mode kind of modes built into this Automa. And I watched Slickerdrips play. You can see that link. I linked it in here in chat. I watched Slickerdrips play easier and got destroyed by like 40 points. It was like 80 to 116, 120, something like that. And that's the easier mode, and Slickerdrips knows this game well as well. So I don't know. I think based on that, I might just try playing easiest mode and see if I can even beat it, because I haven't played it before. I haven't really even seen it in many years. So let's maybe just not kill ourselves today and just see if we can even get through it. Is there a general chronicle rules? There we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, we'll get to that as we go, I guess. I think I'm mostly set up for play. Difficulty levels. There we go. Super easy. That's what they call it. Starting trade tile is, it's on the other side. Okay. Cool. I get it. Cool. We'll go easier mode. Super easy. We'll see. We'll see how super easy this is. Okay. Scoring rounds with victory points for items. 1 and 2. I guess we'll figure out what that means as we get to a scoring round. Extra rule when magnificent. Oh, hey, Net God, thanks for the biddies. I did not hear that alert. That disturbs me. Anywho, the solo opponents, the Automa is called Magnificent, as in MacLeod or Mac something, because this is Scotland, it's Highland, so it's Mac something. So it's Magnificent. Let's see. When extra rule, when Magnificent takes a trade tile, she doesn't gain a stone. Oh, that's good. I like that. Extra rule, when Magnificent takes a person tile, she doesn't gain 2 victory points. That is also good. Okay. So what's also nice about that is while I can't easily kind of retcon the scoring for stone that she doesn't take, yeah, I guess I couldn't. It would be difficult to do knowing how it scores. But I can look at the victory points for the number of people that I give her at the end of the game and see if I would have been beaten by her or not if she had gained those extra points. If the game is that close and it tips it over, then okay, that would be good to know. But she probably would have scored a few extra points along the way for the stone, but that's all right. Let's try the super easy and we'll see how we get on. Right, okay. So now let's take a minute and talk about how this game works. If you've never seen Glen more before, it can be a lot to take in, but it's not, as I'm fond of saying, I love games with a lot of thematic integration. So there's a lot going on in this game, but most everything that goes on in this game makes thematic sense. What we are doing at the core of Glenmore 2 is we are trying to build up and establish the prominence of our clan in the Highlands of Scotland. And to do that, we're trying to literally build out our estates, our various estates, and get resource production going and become a big economic leader in the Highlands of Scotland. And our prominence within the clan structure will rise as we gain more and more influence and control in the local economy, and the size of our clan grows and so on. It also means that we are going to be allying ourselves with the other clans in Scotland, because that's how that world works. You definitely heard it. Well, okay, good. I'm glad it's only me. So what that means is we are going to have an emissary that travels around in fact, I need to put my little meeple out there, that travels around the island, the Scottish territories, meeting with the clans, the various clans out there, and deciding strategically which clans to ally themselves with, and that will gain you certain benefits throughout the game. So that's thematically what I am doing here. I start out over here and I start moving around the board throughout the game, and I have to pay money to travel because it's expensive to travel around. But as I move around and I gain alliances, then certain benefits will come with me. I am like everything in the game, almost everything in the game. The Magnificent, the Automa, is competing with me on that, and she's got 2 different Automa meeples that are on a little track. 2 different tracks, in fact. You'll see on this map, in fact, I'll push in a little bit on that. You'll see on this map that, and I don't know, is that in focus or do you need me to tell it to refocus? Let me know. You'll notice that some of these are blue and some of these are purple. That gives you an indication of the path that she's going to take. The blue is going to follow the blues and the purple is going to follow the purples. And then I get to go wherever I want. I start up over here and I just get to move around. She doesn't pay anything when she moves. She doesn't have to pay any goods to qualify for anything. She gets to do a bunch of cool stuff for free. It's, like a good jerky AI tends to be. Is this what it's like to me? I see you. I see you. How's that? Is that better? Not in focus. Yes, this is what it's like to need glasses. So that's the clan board. Clan board's going to give me some kind of mostly one-time benefit. You'll notice there are some ongoing benefit tiles. And in fact, I don't have them out. Pardon my hand through the close-up camera while I dig them out. I will put them out. I was wondering what these were for, and I couldn't remember. There we go. So this is McPherson. No, this is McLaughlin. There we go. So these tiles are the you get this ability for the rest of the game tiles. Most everything out here has a lightning bolt next to it, and that's just kind of an immediate benefit. But there are a handful of tiles that give you extra goodies. Macintosh. Where are you? Extra goodies for the rest of the game. There you are. Macintosh. Cool. McGregor. McGregor goes here. Sinclair. Sinclair is up here. Okay. I believe that's Sinclair. Yeah. Cool. Cool. All right. So if I beat the Automa to any one of those locations, then I will get the ongoing ability, and it won't just get discarded from the game. So first one to get there either gets it or removes it for the other player. Okay, so this is what's going on over here. I'll talk about people and what this person is in a moment. We'll get there. Highland Games I'll cover last. This here is the kind of where we are going to be selecting our upgrades. So we're going to be building locations. We're going to be claiming territory to add to our clan. And to do that, we're traveling around this rondel. What's really cool about this particular rondel is you are not limited by how far along the rondel you want to go, you want to go. You're not saying I can only go 3 spaces or 2 spaces or whatever. I can, if I wanted to. I'm yellow, right? And I could, and it goes this way. I could take this tile, the last tile. You can't see that. Let me look at that again. Let me make sure that's actually on screen. Looks like it is, but I'll bump it down slightly. That's the wrong one. Cool. Love that for me. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Okay, as I was saying, this is a rondel, and we start out on this side of the rondel and we just walk this way. And as we go, I can go as far along this rondel as I want. Nothing's going to stop me from doing that. I start here, I'm yellow, and I'm walking this way. I could go all the way to the end right now and take this trade tile. I could do that. But the downside of doing that is everything behind me, I'm leaving behind for other players. So I will never see those tiles ever again. If nobody takes them, they are discarded. And then new tiles come out. You can't really see these stacks, so they're probably out of focus because they're really tall. These stacks of tiles are a lot of tiles. They come out pretty hot and heavy throughout the whole game. There's lots of tiles that come out. So it's either take them, stop it early and take them, or leave them for other players to take. And here's the thing. In this rondel game, we are playing a simulated 3-player game. I'm playing against the Automa, who's an intelligent player, and the third player is really just a dummy dice that just takes tiles as it goes and just discards them. Neither one of us get that tile. It's gone. So the problem is if the Automa if I just leave stuff for her, she's just going to gobble those tiles up. And a regular human player would do exactly the same thing. Gobble those up for themselves if they want. There's downsides to doing that, but you don't want to leave a lot of options on the table for your opponent in this game. You want to be very intentional about what you give them and what you don't. Or you could end up losing really badly. So it's a push and pull saying, I want to get to that tile really bad. It's right here. But if I do that, I'm leaving all this stuff behind for my opponents to take. And so you kind of have to really be careful about how you progress. But you can. The freedom is there. If you're like, screw that, and I've done it before in this game, screw that, I don't care. I'm not letting this other opponent get this tile, or I really need it in order to score a ton of points. I'm going to just go for it and leave all that stuff behind. So be it. It is what it is. Sometimes you got to take a big swing like that. That is just how it goes. Okay, so we're going to get tiles here. We're going to add those tiles to our estate, our little tableau here. And we are moving around and we're getting allies in Scotland. And now here's the new bit, and that's the Highland Games. So every player, my opponent has a log tosser and a shot putter. And we are competing in the Highland Games. And the one who is highest on the either one of these two sides of the board at the end of every round gets some fame tokens, I think. Get extra fame. and those just score you points. And there's other goodies that you'll get along the way. We'll talk about that. The AI opponent will act a little, gets a little bit of different stuff because it's just much easier to do certain things for an AI than it is to try to like simulate absolutely everything. But it all balances out in the end because the automa earns points for all kinds of things. So I'm still competing because I still want to get higher than the AI every round on both of those if I can, or I'm potentially giving up quite a bit of stuff. So as we're doing this stuff, we're still playing in the Highland Games as we go. Yeah, I think that is about all I need to cover. Oh, the market in the middle of the rondel here is just your standard market. I need a resource. I don't have a resource. I can buy a resource. I have extra resources because I'm producing a lot in my estate. Fine, I'll sell it to the. Fine, I will sell it back to the market and make a little bit of money. Here's the downside to the AI and what I was trying to get them to change, which they didn't want to change probably because it was too complicated, was that the AI doesn't really interact with the market much. The only difference, the only way the AI influences the market now is at the beginning of the AI's turn. If any one of these goods types, if there's no money in the one column here, it just, the game just adds $1 to it. There's always $1 available to you at the start of your turn in every one of those. So it's not actually doing any kind of market manipulation about the value of these things. I would have preferred that to be a little bit more human-like, but at least you can count on the fact that you can always sell something for $1 and it's not going to be valued out, that kind of thing. So in a way, I guess it's good because it keeps the prices low for you, I guess. But that's about all. Okay, let me get into the details. So let me push in on my player board for a moment. Okay, so my tableau starts with kind of two properties. This tile is a double-sided tile. There's two, or it's a double starting tile, and there's two properties on it. My keep or my castle's on the right side, and kind of the outbuildings of my estate are on the left. You start the game with one worker because this tile says you get a worker, and it starts wherever you see that tile, that icon. At least at the beginning of the game it does. Later, when we get more of these tiles, they always start at your castle, and then you have to move them around. But for the beginning of the game, he starts right there. This symbol at the bottom here, that just means that every time these tiles activate, you will be able to move your clansmen around your tableau. And the reason why you would want to move your clansmen is that the only way you can build out your estate is if you have at least one clansman within one space. And that also means diagonals count. Within one space of where you want to build. So if I want to build here, I have to have a clansman right there. But I couldn't build here because I don't have a clansman on this tile. Does that make sense? So if I want to build over here some other way, I'm going to have to trigger one of these two actions so I can move my clansmen over here and then build over here later. Or get more clansmen, which we desperately want to do. So because the more people we have, the more room we have to expand, the more ready ability to build. So that leads us to these. These are our shot putter and our log tosser. Log tosser here, shot putter here. We don't have somebody competing in the games at the start of the game, but we will very quickly build one of these two types of buildings. That's the kind of icon that you're looking for. This one's kind of like a crate. It's a commodity. And this is more like a livestock tile. So if we build one of these or one of these, we get a log tosser or a shot putter, and then the games begin, essentially, for us. But right now, those are just sitting here waiting for us to get one of those tiles. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to add more property adjacent to our existing starting tiles, and then we're going to move our clansmen around, and then they're going to be able to continue building. Every time we build something, let's say I took the first tile here, which I'll put it back in a moment, but let's say I did that. I built this cow ranch right here. Well, because I built it, it activates right away. So it will produce a cow for me, but then it will also activate everything that is adjacent around it, including the diagonal. So if I build up a bunch of stuff and then I drop a ranch right in the middle of it, well, I get the cow, but then I get everything else all the way around it as well, all triggered because I built that thing right in the middle. So in this case, I would get a cow and I'd be able to move my clansmen, however many I want, up to 2 times in total. So if I only have one, I could move this guy twice if I wanted to. Or I can split them up and move multiple clansmen multiple different times. So that's a nutshell about how that works. It'll all become much clearer as we go along. Oh, and I should mention that had I built, and I may yet, had I built that cow, I would then have my shot putter enter the Highland Games because I built a little ranch type of building, and that was what was required in order to get my shot putter out. And he would then start competing in the games if I chose to do that. Okay, so I think that about covers it. I will deal with all the details around how we get points in the game, how money works, and all of that as we play. Any like top level questions before I get started, or do we just launch into it and go? Because I'm going to stumble. Full disclosure, I'm going to stumble through the automa part for the first couple rounds because I'm still learning it. I'm probably going to stumble a little bit on the Highland Games, although less so. It's not as complicated for the first couple times that I see some of that stuff. But the main game will flow really smoothly, so hopefully it won't be too terribly agonizing to watch. So, all right, here we go. Sound off in comments if you have any in the chat. If you have any questions, I'll pause and I'll look up occasionally, and we'll see how far we get. So let's see. Where are we? We're zoomed in. So let me pop out to the main board here. So here we go. All right, so over here on the rondel, I go first because the catch-up mechanic in this game is that the last player is the player that goes. It's their turn if they are last. So that's the other thing. If let's say I jumped all the way ahead and I took that tile, I wouldn't be able to go again until I was the last player. So it'd be quite a while. If you jump ahead, you're letting everybody just take turn after turn after turn until you're finally the last player, and then you get to go. So with that in mind, I will clip over closely because I haven't done this a whole lot yet in this game. Let's show this in detail. Do I want this cow, or do I want to produce wood? I can get a forest and start doing a little forestry work and get some wood. I could come over here and start a wheat farm, or barley farm, barley farm, because with barley lets me make whiskey. Hey, this is a Scottish game. You can't have a Scottish game without whiskey. So producing barley is the first step in that process. So do I want to start barley? It's a good question. Hey, here's one. This one costs $2. I start the game with 5. This one costs $2. It's part of the expansion, and it lets me produce a cow or barley. My choice. Anytime it activates, I get to choose. But it costs me $2 in order to build it. These other 3 tiles, they're starter tiles. They cost nothing to build. I get them, and I can go. Here's the thing. There's 3 players. There's a really good chance this tile is not going to survive an entire round. So do I chance it? This is my first big decision. Do I jump all the way ahead and get this tile right now? I think maybe I do. And it's scary to think about that, to let all that stuff go. But the reason why I want to do this is because the size, at the end of the game, the overall size of your estate matters. If you spend nothing but all the time in the world just expanding and expanding and expanding your estate, and you have this massive estate, but the opponents have a much smaller estate, they're able to gain victory points in a really more efficient package, a much tighter estate. And you're over here just bloated and crazy and got a massive estate and not as efficient as them, then they earn victory points for every tile that is smaller than yours. Ooh, what happened there? Huh, that's odd. One moment, I'm going to fix that. My camera just shut down. I'll be right back. Hold on one second. Okay, so let's try that again. I think we should be okay now. The camera had plenty of battery on it. It wasn't overheated. I no idea why it decided to freak out, but I went ahead and plugged it in anyway, just to give it a little bit of extra love today. We all need a little extra love sometimes, and maybe that's just how the cookie crumbles today. Anyway, we'll play it by ear. We'll see what happens. I think I may have fixed my audio problem so I can hear alerts now. So, NetGut, I think you know what to do in order to make sure I can hear things. We'll see. We'll see. You're usually quick on that draw. Okay. So let's see. Let's see how we go. No, that's the wrong one. Let's see what he says. Let's see if he does it. Uno más.
What did he say?
Ah, there it is. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, very cool. Okay. All right. All right, there it is. Thank you for the test. Now I can hear alerts. So, oh, hey, biddies. I can hear that alert too. Yes, thank you for the biddies. Okay. Okay, all right, where were we? So, trying not to go too far ahead, but if my estate is bigger than everybody else's, then they're going to earn a lot of points at the end of the game because their estates are smaller than mine. So there's a catch-up mechanic there too. So if somebody gets a little bit crazy with their growth, the other players can kind of catch up a little bit as well. So I have to be careful. This tile lets me produce barley and cows in one tile. That lets me not have to have a cow and a barley tile. That's great. I think I'm going to go ahead and just grab this and give me a little extra flexibility, knowing that I'm going to give up on probably this wood, right? Oh, well, it is what it is. So we're going to move ahead. We're going to spend 2 of my 5 ducats. We'll put those back in the old money bag. And we're going to grab this tile. So this tile comes to me, and let's decide where we're going to put it. Back to my estate here. I think we'll just put it up on here. We'll put it up on top. And because I built it, I get to decide what I'm producing. Let's look ahead. Is there anything on the horizon yet that it's too early? I don't quite know what I'm going to need. Oh, well, there is a trade tile that says, hey, you can trade, you can sell a cow or a sheep. And if you do, if you sell 2 of them, you can make 4 victory points. That's on the horizon over there. So let's have it produce a cow first. So we'll take a little cow and we'll stick it on the tile. Every tile, every production tile that makes goods for you can only hold up to 3 things. So because this tile can produce either or, it can hold either or, but a max of 3 items at any time. Either I have to use them or sell them or trade them to make more storage room to be able to continue to produce goods on that tile. So that's it. At the end of that tile, now the other option is I can, because I placed it and because it does produce when you first build it, it does trigger every building around it. Well, it triggers these 2 as well. So if I want to, I can move this guy 1. I can't really move him twice because of my configuration. But I don't want to, because where he's sitting right now, I can still build here, 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 or here. So I think we're just going to leave him right there. We're going to choose not to move him. But we got a cow. We expanded our territory. That's good for us. Okay, so now we have to decide what the autumn is going to do. But before we do that, we always, we leave 1 space empty. Okay, see, I'll go over there. We always leave 1 space empty behind the last player, and we fill up tiles behind that player. So because I took a tile and I moved, I left an open space, and so I just had to take the tile off the A stack there and fill it in behind me. This one costs a barley in order to build it, but I get 2 whiskey casks when I build it. That's a good thing. I like it. Interesting. The only thing I don't like about this tile, while it gives you 2 whiskey casks, it doesn't let you produce whiskey casks. If it did, it would look like it would have one of these white boxes in the corner. It just gives you 2 whiskey casks right away, but it eats up space in your estate. So that sucks. So anyway, but if you're like desperate to get ahead in the whiskey game, because you're gonna lose a lot of points if you don't, it might be a good option for you. But you know, not right now. Okay, so let's go look at the Automa here. This is going to be a bit of a stumble through for me the first time. So how this kind of works is there's kind of a decision tree, but it's a really simple, somewhat simple decision tree. Mostly this board is just storing the stuff that she accumulates throughout the game. There is a bit of a priority track here, but that's about it. There's trade tiles along the top, right? She starts the game with 1. This is where she stores her whiskey when she gains whiskey. This is where she stores people when she gains people, and then she triggers some other stuff when that happens. When she builds other castles in her estates, she stores the castle cards there, and those gain points for her as well. Over here off the board is where she's going to amass stone. She's just going to gain stone for everything, and then she's going to be able to use that stone to make a bunch of trades as she goes, and those trades will earn her victory points. We hate that. So this is her decision card. These cards, we draw one every time she has to make a decision, and we resolve that card from top to bottom until a decision has been made, one or the other. And then, so bear with me. Again, I haven't seen these cards in many years since I helped play test it. So who knows how this is going to go, but we'll give it a run. We'll give it a try. So the beginning of every round, these cards get shuffled. No, I take that back. When this deck runs out, you can barely see this deck. It's a little deck of blue cards. When this deck runs out, then we reshuffle and draw again. But every time you reshuffle this deck, you burn the top 2 cards. So your distribution of Automa cards is going to be a little different every time you shuffle it. So that's what these 2 cards are. Those are our first 2 burnt cards. But this is her first decision to make. So because this is empty on the top, we ignore that. What this means is for this chronicle, I will take both of these cards and show them to you close up this first time. Just to make it super clear, hopefully. That's upside down. That's not good at all. I'll have to rotate that later. We'll go that way, I guess. Okay. So this is the chronicle we're playing. We're playing the Highland Games. I should mention that there are, in the base game alone of Chronicles of Glenmore 2, there are 8 modular expansions. You can mix and match them. They're little mini things that add extra bits to the game. One of them is like an entire whiskey production chain where you're aging whiskey. So not just you get whiskey barrels, but you get to age them and then sell them when they're aged for more victory points and more money. So like there's cool stuff like that. That's not in the base game, but you can add it in. You can bolt it in and have multiple of these things going. There's 8 of them in the core box. Very cool. Lots of game to play just in Chronicles 2. Just in Glenmore 2 Chronicles, which is the base game. Highland Games adds 2 more, possibly 3 more, and the solo opponent. I think it's 2 more in the solo. I could be wrong. Maybe it's 3. So this is saying, hey, there's the 8 base expansions or modules, and then there's the 2 or 3 new ones, and so that's a total of 10, right? So we're playing the 10th module, which is the Highland Games expansion. And for this module, whenever the number in this row is a 1 or a 2, she will prefer to take Highland Games tiles. If there's a different number, a 3 or a 4 or something else, then she won't, and she'll just move on down the line. But as it is, if it's 2 or less, and that is a 2 or less, it is a 1, she's going to prefer Highland Games tiles if they're within range 5 of where she currently is. So let's take a gander at where she currently is. So she's playing red, and 1 tile, 2 tile, 3 tile, 4 tile, 5 tile. So that's range 5. And this is how we can tell it is a Highland Games, because it's a little banner that has a little flexi muscle arm. And it tells you that that's the Highland Games tile. So because there is a Highland Games tile within range 5, she's going to take it. This one is interesting. You can't see it because the cards are in the way. This one is interesting because it produces both cows and sheep on 1 tile. So like I have a cow and barley, she now would have the ability, if she was a human player, to produce cow or sheep. So she's going to take that, bounces over here, and back to her board. And so this just goes, I'll put them up here for the sake of tracking them, right? Doesn't really matter. They're just this is just a stack of tiles. It doesn't even matter what they are. But it does matter what type it was, I think. Where, oh, where does she care about it? Or does she care about it? Oh yeah, she does care about it. It's right there on the board. It even says so. Okay, so let's take a gander at that. This is a ranch style building. And for ranch style buildings, if she builds one of those, she gains 2 stone. So we're just going to give her 2 stone in her little stone pile, and she'll be able to make trades with that stone later. So now we'll flip it over because we resolved it and move on with our lives. So that took a little while only because it's new to me and it's the first time I've explained it. So it'll go quicker as we move on. But she earned 2 stone for that. That was basically that tile producing for her. And stone is just used in her case to simplify the game rather than having 15 different types of resources that she's trying to accumulate. She's accumulating victory points and stone. That's it. Okay, now, first thing we do is back to the main view here is we fill in the space left behind by her move. All right, now the little dummy player goes to burn a tile. And it's just gonna move 1 space. Let me make sure the roll, yep. It's gonna move 1 space. So it was here, so it's gonna move here and kill that. Well, guess what? The dummy player is still going because the dummy player is last in line. So we're just gonna keep rolling until it either skips past one of us, still taking 1, okay, fine. So now it's here, burn this. Now it's gonna roll again because it's still last, still rolling 1s. So cool, all right. And then let's see what happens. Which one is it gonna go now? Jeez, this die has, I think, 3 1s on it, and I keep rolling 1s. But what that does do is it takes this tile like that. Now that we've done that, we have a bunch of catch up to do here. We got to add some tiles to the end of the rondel because we all skipped past a bunch of stuff. All right, so let's take a look. Now it's my turn again. I'm the last one in line. Again, so I jumped ahead, and so I wasn't able to take a bunch of actions there for a little while because I chose to jump ahead. So now I could come down here and spend 2 more bucks to get more barley, but also produce wood. I don't really want to spend all my money right now, but man, it's hard to pass up. I would love to have a sheep, but more barley and wood would be good too. Oh, right. I forgot. This is a Highland Games thing, which is why I forgot. I built my first building, which was a ranch, so I got my little shot put guy on the Highland Games, which means I get to move him up. I didn't resolve that before. That's what that little upside means. So my little shot putter guy gets to go up the track. And when that happens, I get to as a one-time action, I get to sell barley for 2 victory points. Unfortunately, I didn't produce barley. I chose to produce a cow. So I don't have barley. I guess I could have made a different choice knowing that, but it's fine. I'll use the cow for other things. The other decision I have to make is, do I want to do this? Okay, fine. The other thing I can do is once per round, I can get this one-time benefit in the center column. I kind of want to hold out for that though, because there are better prizes to be had the higher up we go. And I can only do this once per round, remember? So I'm going to hold out because if I keep going up this track, I can get 2 victory points instead of 1. I can get a single use scoring modifier token, which is really cool. I can get fame if I get really, really good. So I'm gonna bide my time. I'm gonna not take that yet. But that's what the shot put thing let me do. Okay, back to the main game. All right, so I have him. I don't have my log tosser yet, but I do have my shot putter. Okay, do I want to take this barley and oak building? I can make money. And I need wood for Castle Stalker. And Castle Stalker is this tile here. It's coming up. Castle Stalker would give me $3 when I get it built, and give me a new clansman on my board, which I really want. And I would get my money back. So let's aim for getting Castle Stalker. That's coming up, but I'm gonna work my way up to it. So I'm gonna take barley and oak, and I'm gonna pay $2. That leaves me with $1 left. Yikes. And where do I want to put it? Well, I want to make this trigger again. And I'd like for it to be triggerable pretty regularly. So we'll stick it right next to it, like that. Okay, first things first, our new, oh, you can't see that. That's what I get. So I put it here, right next to the other ranching location. So what I'm gonna do is this is a kind of a production building. And that means I get my log putter has now entered the chat, as it were, and gets to move up. So let's take a look at that. So my log putter gets to move up 1, and that also lets me convert barley for victory points, which I have not yet done. However, I could choose to produce that, but I don't want to because I need wood for building Castle Stalker. Castle Stalker requires wood, cows, and stone. So I need to keep that in mind. So I'm not going to take that advantage either. I'm just going to stay there. Okay. All right. So back to this tile that I just got. I can either produce barley or wood. I'm going to choose, like I said, to build wood. So it is producing wood. Now, because I put it here, everything around it triggers. So this building that is previously existing can build cows or barley. I'm going to use a cow in a moment, but I will have it produce barley because I can, and that way I'm diverse in my production. I like it. And now this lets me move my my clansmen, and I think I will. I think I will move my clansmen. I'll move my clansmen up here because every time I build around these buildings, they will trigger. So I want to build over here. Okay. Okay, so that took care of my action. That is it for me. Okay, let's refill the rondel back to the main view. And the die goes. As soon as I get done throwing it around. Where did it roll to? Somewhere I can't reach. Isn't that fun? That's just the day of it, I guess. Okay, one more time. Okay, 1. Of course it's a 1. Of course it's a 1. But that's okay. In this case, the 1 is here. So we're not doing a bunch of like removal of tile over and over and over again like we did the last time. And now it's the Autumn's turn. Let's see what Magnificent does. Okay, Magnificent said, hey, it's time to move around. So we're going to move our scout, like our people out on the board. And so that is here and here. Don't think, no, she doesn't drop her clan markers here. So she's not making an alliance with these people. She's just moving the marker around. Oh, that was not the right place to go. She goes here. But does she get David Hume? No, because she's not putting down her clan marker here. Okay. Okay, so she's just there. She's not actually trying to make an alliance and get David Hume into her clan. Okay, good, good, great, cool. All right, next, there is no preference right now to get Highland tiles, so we move on to the next one. And again, this is range 5 for her. It's as far as she wants to go. Is there a trade tile? Yes, and it's a good one, and I'm bent that she's taking it, but I'm not surprised because that's just who she is. So very much, she's going to take the very first trade tile she can reach, which is Aberfoyle. And here's why we don't like her getting trade tiles. We're going to come up here, and we're going to put that trade tile right there. Now, whenever she can trigger trade tiles, she will gain victory points for that. I don't like that. She's going to gain a lot of victory points. The more trade tiles I let her have, the more victory points she's going to be able to acquire. So, okay, back to the rondel. It does, ooh, that's right. She does get to do a trade when she does them. She gets a stone when she gets a new trade building. So there's our stone. Oh, maybe she doesn't because we're playing the easiest difficulty, remember? So let's take a look. She doesn't get a stone when she takes a trade cell. So no, okay, great. She doesn't get that, but she does get to conduct the trade. Some trade tiles have multiple levels of trade. So there's an easy one like Aberfoyle. So let's take a closer look at Aberfoyle just to show you what I'm talking about. Aberfoyle just lets you do one trade. You can trade 2 livestock of either cow or sheep for 4 victory points. Easy trade. There are other tiles, though, that say you can trade 2 for 4 or 4 for 8 or whatever. And so you can choose how many of them you want to trade and how many victory points you want to earn. When you have a tile, when she has a tile like that, she will always take the cheapest option to spend the fewest resources possible to earn victory points. In this case, there's only one choice, so she's going to take that choice. Now, if I'm right, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, let me just read. I don't want to get this wrong because I'm going to try to internalize it, memorize it for the rest of the game. And I don't want to get it wrong and mess up the whole game. Okay. We want to trade. There we go. Immediately gains victory points equal to the least valuable printed trade. Yeah, she does not need to have any resources to gain these victory points, and she doesn't return resources to the pool. Really? Rude. Okay, fine. I thought it's later where she spends resources. So when it first activates, she gets to do that trade for free. And she doesn't spend any resources to do it. So she just earns 4 victory points. And where are my victory points? I knew I was missing something. One moment. I will find them. Oh, there they are. Cool. All right. I'll just leave them in the baggie because it's crazy. All right. Yeah, there's a good splash of them. We'll get more if we need to. Okay, so she gets 4. Fine. She'll get 4 then. Hate that for me. Okay. And that pile is going to get massive throughout the game. But it is what it is. Okay, so she got a new trade tile. She made that trade. She made 4 victory points, moving on with life. My turn. I could build Glen more. Glen more being this tile here and get 2 whiskey right away. If I have more whiskey than her at the end of the round, I will earn victory points. The more whiskey I have, the more victory points I will earn after every round until she catches up with me. And she probably will. I could build Glenmore. It would cost me a barley to do it, but Glenmore doesn't produce. Just gives me whiskey that one time. Instead, I could do this. I'm kind of risking Castle Stalker going away, and Castle Stalker is a preference for her. Let me push in so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is a Highland Games tile. This Highland Games tile, so I'm just going to spend some time playing the game, right? I'm not going to build I'm just going to go enjoy the Highland Games for a turn. And if I do that, I'm going to spend time competing in the shot put and log toss. And I'll get better at it. But here's why I might want to do that. If I take that tile, I can choose one of my 2 victors, one of my 2 competitors here, to go up 2. And if I do that, I get a one-time bonus. At the end of the round, we're going to do a little bit of scoring. And this tile here basically adds 1 to my count of whiskey barrels. So it's as if I had 1 when I have none, right? Here, it adds to my count of castles. I start the game with 1 castle. It's my core castle here. So this would mean that for that scoring round, I would have 2 to her none, essentially. So that's good. And I would get that in addition to any other accolades I acquire this round in the Highland Games. But is it enough to offset building Castle Stalker and getting an extra guy? I don't know, but there are two Highland Games competition tiles between here and there. I would be giving up the chance to do either of those just because I'm nervous about losing Castle Stalker. There is a chance this die could roll a 3. And if it does, and I'm here because I took this tile, then a 3 means Castle Stalker. So there's really a 2 in 3 chance of losing Castle Stalker if I stop and play the Highland Games right now. That's a lot. I'm higher than her at the moment, but she could get one of these and match me, because you can either go up twice with one of your competitors or go up once with both, which would tie me, and then I wouldn't get any fame at the end of the round. I don't know that I care. I think I really need. She's already got 2 trade tokens. If I pass up an opportunity to get another clans person and $3, and I'm down on money too, I only have $1 left, I think I'm going to regret it. So here I go again. I'm going to jump ahead, even though I really probably shouldn't. Oh well, it is what it is. Let's see if I ignore Highland Games, what happens. Here we go. Okay, so castles are interesting. First and foremost, we need to pay some resources. Well, on my board, I'll put this here and I'll see if I can, I'll move it out of the way a little bit, see if it's still there. Nope, that's the wrong direction. We'll go this way. I need to turn that around, don't I? But for now, it'll work. All right, yeah, so I need to spend these resources, and I only have a cow and wood. So how am I going to get that stone? Well, I'm going to trade for it. I'm going to buy stone from the open market. So first and foremost, let's spend the cow and the wood. Those come off. Wood, cow. And now let me throw some tiles around, because that's how you play board games. Cool. And then I will come over here to the market, and I will see that stone currently costs 1? No. But I can sell the barley I have. Yeah, let's sell the barley. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple trades. I'm going to sell the barley for $1. Barley's gone. No longer have it. But now I'm going to buy stone for $2. So I'm going to put my $2 out here, and I'm going to get a stone. So I sold the barley to make an extra $1, and I took my $2 to get the stone, which is the stone that I needed to build the castle. So the castle is now built. I paid for it. Dunsies. I'm out of resources, but I built it. So now where am I going to put it? Castles. Do I need to worry about where they go? I don't think so. Let's look at building castles. That part of it was a little fuzzy. I just want to make sure I don't mess that up either. Castles, activating tiles. Yeah, great. Uh-huh. Got it. I think that's just like any other tile. So let's just put Castle Stalker where I can activate both of my production. Okay, great. I could put Castle Stalker up here. That could work. That works too. The other option, let's see what's coming. Barley and wood to build Donnan Castle. Donnan Castle gives me the ability to make an alliance on the Scotland board. That's not something to be laughed at either. So if we know that Donnan Castle's coming and there's a chance for us to build it, then we need barley, we need wood, and we need stone again. There is a stone production building coming. Do I bother to stop and get it? Probably should. Okay. In that case, I think we do need to leave it here so that it triggers both of these so we can get those resources back again. Okay. Now, what I don't get and what I don't remember is what happens if you, okay, this is Castle Stalker, right? My marked cards, Stalker, Castle Stalker. Immediately take 3 coins from the pool. Thanks. What I don't remember is whether or not you put meeple that you earn on the newly placed tile. Okay, that's my answer. Thank you. Okay, so when you build something that grants you clansmen, that's what I was looking up. The new clansman doesn't start at your home castle. It starts with a castle that you just added to your tableau, which makes sense because you're basically drafting new portions, new clans into your clan. So Castle Stalker came along with you, and you get a new clansman as a result. So they start there, but I really want to get them back here if I can. But that's for a problem for a different time. So, so we got our clansman, but we also get the Castle Stalker card. Castle Stalker card came from off the board. It looks like this. This is a pretty simple card. It just means when you get Castle Stalker built, get $3. Okay, $3. Cool. Got my $3 back. And now there's my $3. Cool. Now, because I built it here, everything adjacent to it activates. So I get the choice of barley or cow. I'm choosing barley in this case because Donnan Castle is coming up on the rondel, and I'm going to need that barley in order to pay the construction cost. And then over here I have barley or wood. I'm choosing wood for the same reason. Okay, and that's 2 out of 3 of the resource types that I need. And I got a castle tile, or a castle card, which helps for scoring at the end of the round. Now, because like all things, we're competing for castles as well. Okay, now that I goes, and we'll go here. Of course. What did I say? That would have bit me. If I had rolled that 3 after going and playing in the Highland Games, I would have lost the castle right there. But as it is, I want to almost stand up and flip that around, but it won't matter for now. So as it is, I'm going to move forward 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, and it just burns that Highland tile. Gone. Okay. It doesn't really matter, but I'll refill it. It does kind of matter because when the tile runs out, we trigger scoring right away. And this is now burnt. This tile here is gone because no one took it. So it's just gone. Okay, now it is, now it's the Optimus player turn. Okay, here we go. We are going to turn that. And yet again, they are moving their markers. Our markers are moving. Okay, and then it is a 2 or less, which means it does care about Highland tiles, but there are no Highland tiles within 5 of her marker. So it moves on. Now, we can, oh, that's interesting. Oh, no, I see. Okay, so, okay. So this is her priority. Let's go look at this. So we cleared this. We just moved people along the Scotland map for her. We looked for Highland tiles within 5. There were none. So now within 3, she's looking for castles first. Well, I just built the castle she would have built. So I beat her to the castle. That was 2 chances to lose the castle where I would have lost it. But in this case, I beat everybody to the castle. So that was a good move jumping ahead. And then, is there a castle within 3? 1, 2, 3. No. Okay, is there a river tile? And I'll talk about rivers in a minute, but no, not within 3, there's not. Is there a house tile? Yes, there is a house tile. It's drum bag within 3. So that's what she's going to pick. She's going to pick drum bag. That was upside down again. I got to remember that that is upside down for some reason, and I'll have to fix it. Okay. But for as it is, because that's what she wants, she's going to go take drum bag. And that's that. Now, let's take a look around. Does she get anything? Yes, she does. She does get something for this. So if we look, this is the tile she just got, and it contains a new meeple. So she gets a new meeple on her little meeple storage area. Done. That's the end of that tile. All right. And now there is a tile in the back of the rondel that is just gone. Nobody took it. And that means it's the dice's turn to go next. But before we do that, we have to refill some tiles, which I think means we're going to trigger the end of the round scoring. Yep. With that last move, the end of the round is upon us, and we score. So what do we look at? Well, we look at fame tokens. Nobody has any. Oh, that's not true. That's not true. I think I earned some. Where's my book? Let's go see how we score these fancy dancy fame tokens. How do we get them? Dum da dum da dum da dum. Yes. Fame. Right. Changes to scoring the rounds. At the start of each round, scoring round, the player or all tied players who placed highest with their caber tosser receive a fame token. Then the players who placed highest with their stone putters receive a fame token. So I just earned 2 fame tokens. Hooray. We like fame tokens. Okay. Nice. The number of fame tokens each player has are compared to the number of fame tokens of the player with the fewest fame tokens. Scoring is according to the normal scoring table unless you are playing Chronicles 9, which we are not. Okay. All right. So let's take a look. I can even push in a little closer on that just for the sake of showing us the scoring for the first time. So this is round scoring. And on the left here is a token we added for this expansion, which is to score fame tokens. So I have 2 fame tokens. The AI has 0. So 2 is 2 victory points. So I earned 2 victory points for that. Great. And this is number of people on our castle. I have 0 people on my castle because they're all out in my territory doing other things and building. I don't have any people on my home castle. So I have 0. She has 2 because that is what that means. When she's got 2 people in that box, she is basically just having her people stand around and do nothing. And that earns her victory points. So now I messed that up, didn't I? I'll come back here. Okay, I didn't mean to mess that up, but here we are. Aha, okay. So she gets 2 victory points. Now, I should mention that there are priorities on her board. Those priorities will move around depending on how good I am at scoring things. In other words, she doesn't want me to get away with a whole lot. So she's going to want to try to reprioritize things. I scored 1 or 2, so the priority does not change. Okay, great. And then she scores 1 or 2, so again, priority does not change. In this case, she scored 2 points to my 0 for the number of people on her home castle. Now, how many castle cards do I have, and how many castle cards does she have? She's got 0 to my 1, so again, priority does not change. I just get 1 victory point. How many whiskey barrels do either of us have? Oh, thanks for the hydrate. I'm on it. All right, how many whiskey barrels do either of us have? I don't have any. She doesn't have any. That's 0. Now, here's the thing. Because neither one of us are competing in whiskey barrels, it slides to the end of her priority track. She doesn't care. Because I don't care about whiskey barrels and she doesn't care about whiskey barrels, nobody does anything. That will change around later, but for now, it is what it is. People. How many notable people, famous people, has she attracted to her cause, to her clan versus me? Neither one of us have any people yet. So it is 0. So nothing happens, but it also means that it slides to the end of her priority list. Okay. Finally, I think that is it. So fairly low scoring round, but for the folks keeping track, it is 3-6 right now. I've managed to keep her point totals fairly low, but that won't last. Now, I think at the end of the round, she does some trading. Let's double check. She does some trading, I believe. End of the round. Trades following each scoring round, including the final round. Magnificent will trade for victory points using all trade tiles in her area. Starting with the rightmost trade tile, compare the number of resources required for a trade on that tile with the number of stones she has. She's got 2 stones. The type of resources required is not relevant, only the quantity is considered. For trade tiles with multiple types of rates of exchange, do this for each type. Okay. If Magnificent has at least as many stones as the number of resources required to make the trade, she discards 1 stone, not the amount listed on the tile, and gains the victory points shown in the trade. Wow, interesting. Okay, so her very first trade is, do you have 2 stones? If you do, make the trade and earn a victory point. She does. So she makes the trade by discarding 1 stone. She discarded 1 stone and makes the trade. So she earns a victory point. Now we move on. 2 livestock for 4 victory points. Does she have 2 stone? She does not. She only has 1. So she does not make that trade. She basically burned through her available trade resources on her first trade and cannot make the second one because I've managed to keep a fair amount of stone producing buildings away from her. Cool. Okay, that's not so bad. This first one isn't so bad, but she did manage to make another victory point. So now it's 7-3. Keep in mind, that was the end of the first round, and she's already more than twice my victory points, and this is the easiest possible mode for her. Cool. All right, it is the die's turn. Die goes for 3. Which one is she going to burn? 1, 2, you can't see. Okay, we're here. 1, 2, 3. Kills Pultaney, which was one I was eyeballing because it produces whiskey barrels. That would have been nice because I have the ability to produce barley. But oh well, all gone, bye-bye. Now it is my turn. And we move on into the second round. Oh, second round also means, oh no, Dawn and Cancel's still out. Okay. Okay, interesting. So when we discard everybody, Lockley's still out too. Okay, cool. Lock Shield is out though, so let's get Lock Shield's card. Dawn and Castle is out. Duart Castle, that's not up yet. Lock Shield, okay. All right. So we have Lock Shield out now. That's far into the future. This is Lock Shield, but good to know. So here's the conundrum I'm now facing. I can stop and get this stone producing building. If I do that, I will almost guarantee to give up on Robert the Bruce. Robert the Bruce is a famous person we want on our side. That will allow her to score points for notable people that have allied themselves with her for the rest of the game. There are 3 famous people on the board right now and on the rondel. So if I give up on Robert the Bruce, there are 2 other options. One of them is William Wallace. The other one is Robert Stewart. They all grant the same thing. On the other hand, if I I'm again risking. I'm again risking Don and Castle. Because if I don't go and get Don and Castle right now, there's a 50-50 chance that she goes and gets it. For two reasons. On her card, the card could say, I want you to get castles first. Or it could say, whatever your current tile priority is, get that. And the top of her tile priority is castles right now. So I'm guaranteed that, not guaranteed, but again, pretty good chances that she's going to end up taking Don and Castle for me. So what do I care? Well, I could make alliances on the Scotland board with Don and Castle. That's a good thing. There are other good things you get, but that's pretty good. I also then continue to compete on castle cards. If she gets the castle, then the victory points that I earn for having more castle cards than her goes away because now she's got something to compete with me on. But I think I should go get that stone producer. I think I should. But then I'm giving up Robert the Bruce. Oof, god dang. You know, I think I'm going to go with Robert the Bruce. I'm going to give up on the stone, and that's kind of probably a bad idea. Oh god. There are other people. And if I'm going to skip, if I'm not going to go straight to Don and Castle and I'm going to get one or the other, I can get one of the other two people that are on the board right now. Even if she gets that one. So I'm going to chance it. I'm going to get the stone producer. Ooh, don't like that. Now, do I want to have it produce barley for me? Probably. Yeah, let's have it produce barley for me. We'll put it here. And it produces a stone right away. Cool. And then it triggers everything around it. You can't see. I just thought of a good good mod command for when you can't see something on the board. I'll have to go and get that done later. Anyway, so I put the tile here. It triggers everything around it. It also triggers itself. So it then goes here. I'm going to produce more barley. And I have 2 barley. I'll put it here so it's easy to see. And then here, lets me move a clansman 1 space. So I'll move this clansman out here so that I can build all the way around here. Okay, that's cool. I like it. And I probably didn't do this right, but it is what it is. By the way, these all reset at the end of every round. Those are back to 0. But because I triggered this, I didn't trigger it the last time I built the castle, but oh well, it is what it is. When I trigger a tile with my Highland Games guys on it, that guy gets to go. So this is my shot putter, so he gets to go up 1. So we're back here again. I have barley. I could convert one of those new barley I just made into 2 victory points. Don't see why I wouldn't do that. I don't have another reason to do that right, to keep that barley around right now, not even buildings that are coming up. I'm going to do that. I'm going to burn a new barley I just made, and I'm going to convert that into 2 victory points. Heck yeah, man. Okay, that's 5. Cool. All right. Dropping sheep all over the place. Okay. All right. Now, that's it for me. That's it for me. New tile comes out. Now it's her turn. Let's see what she does. She's going to... Okay, so first things first. Is it 2 or less? No, it is a 3. So we skip that. We don't worry about that. If the tile actually had an asterisk on it, then it would count, but it doesn't. So we skip that. Next, we move on. So since that's a no, we just move on. Now, what did I say? What did I say? The card could say whatever your tile order is what you care about. So her tile order over here is castles or houses first. Therefore, she's going to look within 3. Yes, within 3 for a castle or a house. The first thing she comes up to is Dawn and Castle, which is what she's going to take. She's going to steal that castle out from underneath me. I knew it. I knew I was gambling, and I got bit. It is what it is. She took my castle. So, what do I do with castles when she gets them? Anything? She does get a person, and she gets the card. Okay, so Dawn and Castle is right here. She, don't know if she gets to do that or not. I'll check. But she gets the card and she gets the castle tile, which gives her a person. So we're going to get another clansman on her board. She has now got more clansmen than me, which I don't care for. And then this goes face down on her pile. Now, does she get to drop or make a clansman alliance out on the Scotland board? I don't know. Oh, nope. Nope, she doesn't. Good. She doesn't get to earn whatever's on the card. She just gets the card. Great. Again, good rule books. You can find good answers real quick. All right. That's that. Then she didn't make a trade. She got a clansman and she got a castle card. Back to me. I get Robert the Bruce for free. Here's how that works. She skipped ahead and grabbed a castle. She left Robert Bruce. I'm the last to act. Therefore, I get to go. So I'm just going to take the next tile. Guess what? I'm still last to act. I get to still go. So I get Robert the Bruce. So let's resolve Robert the Bruce. Robert the Bruce, like all people tiles, grants a little clansman marker on the map. So this is our first time using this map. Here's how this works. I start here, and I can travel as far as I want, but I just have to pay the travel cost. The first move away from this home base location is free. There's no cost on those lines. But every move after that costs money anywhere I go. There's always money in between these stops. Some of them further out cost $2 because it's harder to pass through. So where do I want to go? Do I want to take the free move and just go to one of these that are free? Or do I want to pay $1 and go straight here? You can probably see that there are lines that connect them. I can go here, and then from here, go here, and stop there. If I do that, it'll cost me $1, but when I do, I can ally myself with the Ross clan and get 2 more clansmen right away. That's pretty powerful. Or I could do the same thing, but go to Macintosh. Cost me the same. Macintosh gives me a ongoing ability for the rest of the game. That ability says Macintosh. Macintosh. Your castle tiles are now treated like Scotsmen concerning tile placement. That's cool. Okay, so that means that I don't have to keep clansmen scattered around my properties. I can build as if I have people in castle tiles. The castle tiles can just be left empty and I can still build around them without people in them. That's powerful. From a building perspective, that's super powerful. I could come down here and go to Clan MacGregor and I think that, I see. Clan MacGregor, I can every time, how does that read? I didn't want to have to look it up, but I don't want to get that wrong. That's good to know. Clan McGregor is interesting. If you activate a whiskey tile, you may choose not to use its activation effect to produce whiskey and immediately gain 3 victory points instead. It only works on tiles that have activation icons, so I can't just use it on random places that grant me whiskey. It has to be a production building. But McGregor would let me just earn victory points instead of making whiskey. I could go to Clan MacLeod. Oh, that's interesting. I've had Clan McLaughlin before. Clan McLaughlin is it's anytime you activate your home tiles, but and one of your tiles lets you move a clansman. Instead of moving a clansman, you can just choose not to and earn a victory point instead. And you activate the move clansmans a lot usually, so you could earn quite a few victory points just doing that. So there's a lot of choices to be made here. I could just go to Clan MacLeod and get $3 if I want to. I could go to McKinnon and get a new guy and $2. Chisholm, get a new guy and a barley. That's interesting. I have $3 to my name right now. I could spend $1, get an ability, or I can spend $1 and get 2 guys. She's got 3 clansmen to my 2 right now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the short-term thing. I'm going to get the clansmen. I'm going to get the clansmen rather than, because there's other people on the board. I can do other things next. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first because that's her next move. And if she takes that from me, I'm going to be upset. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to spend $1 for the movement. And I'm going to put my little clan marker on this location. I beat her to it. She can't claim it now, but I can. And I get 2 clansmen right away. Now, when you earn clansmen out on the board like that, they go right into your home castle, which is great for me because it means that I can at least keep up and compete a little bit on her kind of home castle scoring. You know, not let that run away with things too much. Okay. All right, that's that. Now, and I actually don't need a meeple out here. I'm going to pull that back. You're basically always starting from here, or you're starting from a place you've already been. You already have an alliance. So I can start from here, or I can start from this location in the future. Okay. All right. Now, like I said before, it is still my turn because I'm still last to act because she skipped over and stole my castle from me. I think because I just got 2 guys that I'm going to go get Robert Stewart as my next step. And maybe, just maybe, will I get that? Or do I want Loch Lockie? Loch Lockie gives me 2 resources of my choosing. And I can put them anywhere I want. Maybe. That's a tough call. Immediate benefits. People tiles are good to have. think we are going to get Robert Stewart as our next step. This is a risk too. There's a lot there that I could be doing instead, but I'm going to get Robert Stewart. That adds to my list. I then get to make another alliance, and instead I'm going to have $2 left. So I'm going to go from here. Am I? Yeah. I'm going to go from here, and I'm going to go get David Hume. David Hume costs $2 to get to. It's one stop, that's free. 2 stops, that's $1. Another stop, that's $2. So it's free, one, and then so I have to spend both of my 2 remaining dollars, and I'm going to get David Hume. Now, why in the world would I do that? David Hume is interesting because David Hume counts as 2 famous people. He's that famous that he counts as 2 famous people instead of 1. So now I have 4 famous people, in effect, to my opponent's 0. That'll help me at the end of the next round earn some victory points. And it will also continue to count for the rest of the game as long as I stay ahead of her. So let me put my little clan marker out on David Hume's territory here. McKay. Thank you all. Okay. Now we draw some tiles. Okay, dice turn. Let's see what the die says. Die says 2. So it's in last place. So it goes 1, 2. So it's going to be here. It's going to take that one. Okay. Okay, now it is the AI's turn. The AI's turn does this. Moves the clansman. Now that's interesting. Okay. Can you still visit? Can you still visit a clansman location that has already been claimed? To the next empty clan field? Nope. Okay. So she skips over it and goes there. And then she goes here. Okay. Cool. Now, she doesn't care about the Highland markers this turn. Now she's looking 3 ahead for a trade tile. There is no trade tile. Next, she's looking for a person tile. I stole the only person tile within 3, so she doesn't have one. Haha, too bad, so sad. Now she's looking for wine or whiskey kegs. There are no buildings that grant whiskey kegs within 3. Finally, she's looking for any other tile. So she's going to take the very first one, which is houses, unfortunately. She's still last to act, which means she gets to go again. Okay. What does she gain? She gains a person. Of course she does. Wonderful. Love that for me. Okay. So she gets another clansperson. Okay. I don't think that's it, though. That's all she gets. Yeah. Okay. So now she's still last to act, so she goes again. Let's draw. She moves her markers again. Boop, boop. She doesn't care about Highlands. She's looking at order of operations within 5. Wow. Okay, within 5. She's looking for houses and she's looking for castles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. And houses. No. Castles again. No. Water. Yes. She's going to take Loch-Lochy from me. And I hate her for that. Okay, Loch-Lochy goes away. That sucks because now she gets another location card. And is that all she gets? Yeah, that's it. So now she scores for that location card. She has more than I do now. That sucks. I'm going to have to try to see if I can solve for that before long. And guess what? I can try to do that now if I want. Do I go for William Wallace? Here's another reason I'm collecting people. They don't count for your estate size. Only buildings do. Only tiles that like are actual land count towards your estate size. And they do score a fair amount of points. And she doesn't have any right now because I keep stealing them from her. But if I take William Wallace now, I am effectively giving up on Loch Shiel. Loch Shiel is right here. William Wallace is right here. Lock Shield, when I get Lock Shield, grants me another meeple, which I need in order to compete with her, and a whiskey barrel, which she doesn't have any of. So I would start getting points for whiskey. Just 1 point here and there, but it would be good. I think I'm going to skip William Wallace. I think I have to go for Lock Shield. So let's go for Lock Shield. We're going to go right here. We don't have to pay anything. Lock Shield's just a terrain type. Cool. So that puts that here. Now let's come back to my board and take a look-see. And now here's the thing. Lock Shield is interesting because it is a water tile. You can only place water tiles. You can only place water tiles adjacent to other water tiles. So they have to connect. I could do that. If I do that, I would produce stone, barley, or a cow, and be able to move a guy. That's pretty good. Or I could do this on this side, because there's a river running through my home tile here. If I do that, then I'd produce a wood and a barley and move a guy. That's it, though. I think I like this better. I get more resources. So we're going to do that. And I can build it because I have a clans person there. Okay, so this produces stone. This produces barley or cows. What's coming up? Duart Castle's coming up. And I have the wood, I don't have the cow, and I have the stone. So guess what? It's going to be a cow. Okay. Right, and then I get to move somebody 1 step. Do I want to move anybody? I don't think so. I think I'm going to leave them right where they are so I can build. Yeah. All right, we'll leave them there. That would have been a victory point if I had gone to McLaughlin and formed an alliance, because then I wouldn't have moved my person, and instead I would have earned a victory point. That is something I probably should think about doing soon. Now, Lock Shield, I just built. Lock Shield, I'll put the card back out so you can see that, gives me a clansman and a whiskey keg. Whiskey is just another resource in this game. I can put whiskey wherever I want if memory serves. So I'll just put it over here on this house. And then I get another clansman. And when you get clansmen from location cards, they go on your home castle. And look at that, towards the end of the round here, and we are still competing on number of people at home castle. And I now tied up the number of location cards that we each have, so she's not going to earn any victory points from that either. Okay. Let's reload the tiles, and then the die will go. The die goes 3. Of course it does. 1, 2, 3 takes the cows. Bye-bye, cows. Right, new tile. She gets to go. Oh, okay. So it is north of 2, so that doesn't trigger, but the 2 people moving does. So we'll do that. And this. Right. Let's see. What happens? Right. Okay, so we skip this because this number is north of 2. Now she's looking for trade tiles within 5. There is a trade tile within 5. I hate that for me. However, it's not all bad. Right. Now, when she gets a trade tile, does she execute it? Equal to the least, oh yeah, she does. That's a good trade tile too. She earns 7 victory points just for that trade tile. Boom. So 10, pull back 3. So he's now at 14 points to my measly 5. Going great. Okay, so that's where she went. Okay, that was it, I think, because she doesn't earn a stone when she conducts a trade in this early version of the game here. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Great. Tile. Okay, everybody here. These two are gone. William Wallace was never claimed, and neither was Balvenie, the barley producer. So those are now out of the game, and it's my turn again. Another stone producer coming up. Mary Stewart has entered the chat. Okay, now we have some choices to make. Let's see. Blakemore is an overbuilt tile. Overbuilt tiles are interesting. Oh, whoops. When I built Loch Shiel, I should have done something else. I should have moved my shot putter because it activated and I did not catch that. So we'll move up one. And when we do that, we can either get a stone or a barley for free. It's getting towards the end of the round. Do I? Maybe I do. Maybe I take this one-time upgrade for the next scoring round. That would not suck. I think I should do that. I'm not too guaranteed to go back up on that track. On the other hand, no, that's right. Because Duart Castle or Halkirk are both water tiles. So I'm going to go up on the log track, the log tossing track, not the stone putter. Okay. So I think I'm going to go with one of those one-timey ones. In just a moment. Do I want stone or barley is the big question. I have 2 stone. I don't really need 2 stone. Yeah, the value of barley is 1. So I could always sell barley. And if I manage to get a whiskey producing building, I'm going to want more barley. So, on the other hand, if I get Duart Castle in a minute, I'm going to need another cow later, aren't I? Especially if I want to buy Inverness later, which requires a cow and a sheep. Yeah, no, we're not going to make barley. We're going to have another cow come join the herd. Okay. Okay, so I got, oh, wait. Wait, no, I'm not. That's dumb. That was not the decision. This wasn't an activation of the building. This was either stone or barley. Full stop. Okay, we're going to get a barley. We don't need the stone. Now, this is the question. I can get a one-time benefit. The one-time benefit is one or the other of these. This says, act as if you have 1 additional person on your home castle. I have 3 to her 4, so that would tie me. If I got that, she would not earn points. Or act as if you have an additional whiskey barrel. In this instance, it would mean I would earn 2 victory points instead of 1. So it's kind of a wash. It doesn't really matter which one I get. I think I'm going to go with the whiskey barrel. And I am going to do that. Okay, so in order to do the whiskey barrel, I have to say for this round, I'm going to claim that one-time benefit. So I've decided that I'm going to use that one. I could have continued up further and tried to go for something else, but because round 2 is almost over, I went ahead and just said, fine, we'll get the whiskey barrel upgrade. We'll talk about how that works in a moment. It's a one-time thing. It goes back at the end of the round, but it's fine for now. Okay, my turn. My turn. So, as we were just talking, do I want to get that overbuild tile? No. I mean, I could, but I'd be giving up Duart Castle. So let's talk about Duart Castle. What does that do for us? Dewart Castle gives us a clan marker and a dollar when I build it, and I get another clansperson, which I need to continue to compete. I think that is what I'm going to do. Yeah. Yep. Let's go get Dewart Castle. Okay. We have taken Dewart Castle, but we have not yet paid for it. I can go here with Dewart Castle, or I can go here. I'm about to lose a stone for building it. So that would trigger another stone. On the other hand, if I go here, I would replace the wood I'm about to spend, which I think I should do. And I would be able to move one of my clans people, which is about to be important. So let's pay for the building. We're going to do a wood, a cow, and a stone. Gone. Okay, I've paid for the building. I've placed the building. Now let's resolve the actions on the building first. I get the tile. I get the card. So I now get $1. And I also get to do a clan action. I only have $1 in my name, though. So if I'm going to form an alliance, I can only spend $1. Couple more water tiles coming. I don't think I want to do that right now. Those are all too expensive. Could just go and get $3. I could go to McKinnon and get another clansperson and $2. Nah, I'm going to go to McLaughlin. It's over here. McLaughlin's way down here. So I'm going to go from here. That's a free move. This is a free move. And then I follow this squiggly line all the way down here. This costs $1. And I'm going to go to McLaughlin right here. I'm going to spend that $1 I just got. And I'm going to put that marker on McLaughlin. I now have a special ability for the rest of the game. Anytime I choose not to move a clansman, I get a victory point. And I think that's going to be super valuable for me. So we did that. Okay, so now that we've resolved the Scotland board and the Donnan Castle benefits, we also gain a person for Donnan Castle, or for Dewart Castle rather. Not just what's on the card, but also what's on the tile. The card gave us those two things. The tile gives us another person. It goes on Dewart Castle because that's where it came from. But I placed it here, so it gets to activate, which lets me move a clansman 1 step. This lets me move a clansman 1 step, and this activates. I said before, I'm going to make that produce wood again, so I have that back. But I get to do 2 moves. So one of my moves is going to be moving this new clansperson from Dewart Castle over here into my home castle. Yep, good with that. And then the other move, I'm just not going to take that move, and I'm going to get 1 victory point instead because I'm allied with Clan McLaughlin, and I'm awesome. Okay, great. That was a good turn. It's a good turn. New tile comes out over here, and then the die goes. Die goes 1. I rolled the dice on that literally, and I'm glad that it only went 1. That tile is gone. It is now her turn. She pulls her last card, moves people, and goes down here, I think. That's how that works. Doesn't care about Highland tiles this round, only cares about her priority on a range of 3. She wants houses, so she's going to take Hallkirk. Hallkirk is first. Boom, she gets a person. I hate that for me. I was just feeling pretty good about that we just tied up. Now she's going to be above me again on that. Fine. So she gets the person. Is that all she gets? That's all she gets. Cool. Okay. Die goes. Easy day. Die goes 1. Takes the Scottish Pipers. Look at these jolly gentles. So this is a Highland tile. So that basically means both of your competitors get to go up 1 on the Highland Games track. But alas, it is gone. I was hoping I would catch that tile, but it's fine. Tis what it tis. The next tile coming up is a little better anyway. Okay, so that's fine. That's gone. And now it's my turn. And the round is almost over. Okay, so this is interesting. I can play the Highland Games, which I kind of want to do. I could... Yeah, I kind of do want to do that. Because Inverness is interesting. I don't have a sheep, so I'd have to buy one. No big deal, but I don't have the money, so that's not going to help me. So I can't really do Inverness. I could go get a sheep first. There's a reason why I would want to do that. 2 water tiles don't suck. Water tiles can be scored for 8 victory points. If I have 2 more, which guess what? There are 2 more right there. I won't get both of them, though. You know, I think I'm going to skip over the Highland Games and go get the sheep. It's tricky, though, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To her, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I don't want to add too many too fast. Maybe, just maybe, I should just get the shub. Let's go for the water. Let's go for the water, see if I can get those 8 victory points before she does. And then I can at least produce sheep. I can't produce sheep right now. So I'll move here. I'll put this over here, I think. I have to put it right there, actually. Okay. And it produces a sheep because I built it. It also produces a stone because it triggers that building. But I don't get to move anybody because it doesn't trigger a move person action. That sucks. Okay. Is there anything else I want to do there? That might not have been the best move. I might regret that. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Almost to the end of the round. 1 more tile. She gets to go 1 more time, and she has no cards. So let me quickly give these a quick shuffle. Quick shuffle. Okay. Alrighty. Now, back to her. Burn 2, a 1, and a 2. And now we see what she does. It is 2 or less. She does care about Highland Games. Aha. Now, does she take one or the other? She does. She takes her favored person, I'm pretty sure, and goes up 2. Quickly looking, hold on. Clinical 10. Is this what it is to need glasses? Why this? Okay. Aha. She advances both of her clan champions once. If possible, she takes the middle track reward next to her clan. She can't do that yet. I'll show that in a minute. She changes her favorite track. Okay, got it. Okay, Cool. All right. So she advances both of hers one step. So let's come here. I'll show you that. So these are hers. She advances them both up here. She can't take this middle benefit because these first two she's not permitted to take. She has to get them to at least here first before she gets anything. But that's it. She advances them and that's all. So what she's done is she's ahead of me on this track. And I'm ahead of her on this track. So I'll get one and she gets one. That's how that's going to work. That tile's now out of the game because it doesn't go into anybody's estate. That's that. So the last tile in the second round is now out. Therefore, it is time for scoring. Fame. Well, let's do fame first. So I get a fame. She gets a fame. 1 to 1. And now I have 3 to her 1. There's a difference of 2, so I get 2 victory points. Okay. Now, number of people on home castle. She's got 5. I've got 4. She earns 1 victory point. I've managed to contain her there. Number of location cards. She's got 2. I've got 3. I get 1 victory point. So far, nothing has changed the priorities anywhere. I get 1 victory point. Is that what it said? So I'll go 4. Her priorities have not shifted because these are not big swings. If they were big swings, they would change. Number of whiskey barrels. Okay, now whiskey barrels is interesting because if I look at my property, I've got 1 actual whiskey barrel and I've got this once a round benefit that lets me bump the value up. So I actually have 2 for the sake of scoring because I have this tile. So it's 2 to her 0. So now I get 2 victory points and she gets none. This tile now goes away. 2 still means nothing changes. Okay. And then finally, over here, we have people tiles. People tiles, this priority will change for her now. I have 4. She's got 0. The scoring track says when there is a 4-point difference, or a 4-count difference, I've got 4 people to her 0. I earned 5 victory points. Now, because I earned 5 victory points, people, you can't see that because now I earned 5 victory points on a scoring round. People, this one, shoots to the front of the line. Now she's like, screw you, buddy. I'm not letting you have any more people. You're scoring way too many points. So now I'm going to stop worrying about castles so much and I'm going to go after people instead. So again, a pretty good AI because like that's a really human reaction to being outscored that heavily. Okay, that was people. That's the end. Now she does trades. She can't do trades because this one requires her to have 2. She only has 1. She hasn't built. I haven't let her build anything that would produce stone for her. So she hasn't been able to produce any stone. So this requires 2. She doesn't have 2. This requires 2 of anything. She doesn't have 2. This requires 3 of anything. She doesn't have 3. So she doesn't do any trades. Screw that. Okay. All right. I've managed to keep a lot of these scoring conditions away from her. Interesting. And even if she did have an extra stone for gaining that last trade tile, she would only be able to earn the 1 point for the first trade. And then she would not have enough to do the other 2 trades anyway. So it's fine. It's actually not a big lead one way or the other because I've managed to keep the buildings away from her so far. We'll see how it goes. Okay. That's the end of the round. She did her trades. We did fame. We did scoring. Great. Moving on. It is the die's turn. Die goes 2. Skips over Inverness. Takes this wood production out. Boom. And now it is the AI's turn. And the C stack begins. Is Inverness still out? Inverness is still out. And it is considered a location tile. Fascinating. I think she's going to go after Mary Stuart, though. That's a person. We'll see. We'll see what she does. She moves her people on the clan map. So we'll just do that real quick. Or I mean, yeah, on the map of Scotland. Okay. Doesn't care about Highland Games tiles this time. Does care about her priorities within 5. So guess what? She's going to go to Mary Stuart, the very first person. Okay. Now, whenever she gets a person tile, this is the first one of her people tiles. So let's resolve that. This is where they go. They go here. Now, up here it says, wherever they are, put clan markers in their locations. In other words, she doesn't get anything for it, but she blocks them off. So no longer can anybody get these. Oh, I see. Fine. So that is that. And then this is here. Fine. That one's no big loss. Okay, great. What you didn't see was me just adding the clan markers to these locations here. That's fine. Okay. Okay, so she got a person and she gets 2 victory points. That's what it says here. So mark off those 2 locations and get 2 victory points. Okay. Not too bad, but now she's competing with me on people. I don't like that. But she did just leave Inverness for me. I don't have $1. I could sell a barley, though, for $1 and buy a cow. And it's an overbuild tile. That's a good thing. Oh, it's the beginning of the round, so all of these markers on the Highland Games are reverted to their 0 states. Okay, I meant to do that. I think I need to do Inverness for a couple reasons. Yeah. Okay, let's show you overbuild. Overbuild is really cool. This is a mechanic that is not used too regularly in this game, but you will see it towards the later half of the game. So here we go. I'm going to move down here and take Inverness for free. Inverness looks like this. It costs a sheep and a cow in order to build Inverness. I have the sheep. I don't have the cow. So we're going to take one of our barley. Here. We're going to take one of our barley. We have 2. And we're going to trade it. And it's $1 right now. So I'd earn the $1, but it doesn't matter. Oh, it does matter. I think we will trade a stone too. Yeah. Ooh. In fact, that might be the better play. Yeah. Okay. Instead of selling the barley, bring that barley back. We're going to sell an excess stone we have. Right now, the market value of stone is 2. So I sell this stone for $2. Great. Okay, so now that I've sold the stone for 2, I'm going to buy the cow for 2 because that's how much it costs right now. So I've just taken that money and moved it from stone to cow, but I just bought a cow. Okay, and I'm going to spend this sheep and the cow I just bought to pay for Inverness. So now let's put Inverness right here. It's an overland. It's an overbuild. That's what I was just talking about. Never mind. Excuse me. So with Inverness, this is the symbol for overbuild, this little red with the white arrow. And you're looking for a tile location that looks like that, which is a house. I have 1, I think. Yeah, 1. So I can overbuild this type of tile just by placing this tile on top of it. And then it acts like I built it again. So everything around it triggers. And then I also get all of the things that are down here. I get to move from this. I get the location card and everything that's on it. I get the new clans person. So great. How does it work? Well, here's my location, and all of the stuff around it gets to be triggered. So I'm going to pick up my wine barrel that's on that location, and I'm going to stick that on top. I've now overbuilt Inverness. So before I talk about triggering everything around Inverness, let's actually resolve Inverness. Inverness is here. I get a barley. And I think Inverness actually gets the barley. Pretty sure that works. I'm nearly certain that's what it is. And the whiskey barrel. So now this tile is full. It has 2 whiskey barrels and a barley on it. So that's that. I get Inverness gives me a barley and a whiskey. Cool. Thank you. Okay, now let's talk about adjacency triggering. So everything around it triggers, right? So here I get a stone. I get my stone back. No problem. Here I get a barley or a cow. Well, I have plenty of barley. I'm going for cows. And now that tile is full because it's got 2 barley and a cow on it. But this location is also the home of my stone putter. So my stone putter moves up in the Highland Games. Boop. And I can convert a barley to 2 victory points, which you bet I'm going to do. So I'm going to take it off of where? Probably my production building. So we're going to take it off of here. Yeah. And we're going to get 2 victory points. So we're going to take 3 and give back 1. Okay. There. Okay. Now, this building, because we're in the Highlands area, I'll do it again right now, because my log thrower also goes up 1 when this building triggers. So it goes up 1, which lets me, guess what? Convert a barley into 2 victory points. So I'm going to convert this barley into 2 victory points. Nice. Now this building triggers, and I can either make a barley or a wood. Looking around, a wood is coming up if I want it. I'm not sure I do. But I should get the wood. I already have wood though. I'll get the wood. It's fine. I'll get the wood. So far, my whiskey production buildings just haven't been showing up, so fine. Okay. So that's here. So I went here, I went here, I went here, I triggered all of that, and now I'm here. So now these 2, the one Inverness has its own, move symbol, and this one has its own move symbol. So I get 2 moves if I want them. I don't think I do. I don't think I do want them. Maybe I do. Because I do have another worker that comes in from Inverness right here. So I will move that one into my home castle. That's 1 move. And then the other one is not going to be taken, and I get a victory point for it because I have my alliance with Clan MacLachlan. Okay. Okay. Not long now. Right. Right. It's still my turn because they gave me Inverness stupidly. Fine. What do I want to do now? Do I want to? I could come over here, spend a whiskey barrel, but just get 2 victory points. I don't think I want to do that because I don't want more tiles in my property than I have to have. Hey, look at this. It's a whiskey production. I have 2 places that produce barley for me and no ability to convert it into whiskey. This feels like a good thing to get. Now, the problem is there are 2 people here. I'm going to definitely lose one of them if I go for Glen. But it's kind of silly not to be producing whiskey barrels right now. So I got to do it. I got to go for Glen. And it costs a stone to build it. And now where do I want to put Glen to maximize benefit? Someplace that's going to get triggered a lot, ideally. Well, what if we built up? If we built up, then all of this around this will trigger. Oh, that's right. This was supposed to flip over here the last time she triggered. Fine. Um, I like that. I like that for a couple reasons. I can build around it up north and continue to trigger it a lot. I think that's really it. That's a really good thing to do. Okay, so just by building it, I spent the stone already. So just by building it, I get a whiskey barrel on that location. Okay, now I can also trigger its action. I have one barley, so yes, I don't see a reason to have the barley hanging around. So I'm going to take my last remaining barley and I'm going to convert it into a whiskey barrel. Now I have 2 whiskey barrels there. Now let's trigger it as we go around. This is a move action. I may take it, I may not. So we'll skip it for now though. This lets me produce barley or wood. It's going to be barley. This location is now full. This location lets me produce either barley or cows. I don't have a building out right now that produces cows. Or wants cows in order to be building it. So barley it is. More chances to make whiskey kegs. Okay, over here, stone. Because again, everything is adjacent to this Glen that I just placed right here. Okay, that's the last of the production. Now I have a move action. Do I want to use it? No, I don't. I'm going to take the point. Thank you, McLaughlin. Now, my 2 Highland Games competitors get to go because the tiles that they were on were triggered. So they both go up 1. 1 for each building. I get barley, or wood, stone. I already have 2 barley. I have 2 stone and 2 wood. So I think I'm just going to keep going for barley. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I wouldn't. Okay, 2 barley. I can put it wherever I want. I put it on lock shield because I can. And now I get the choice. The stack, there's a good chance I'm going to continue to move up on these tracks. Fame, it's 3-1 right now. I would just get 1 fame point or 2 victory points. Now here's the thing. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 whiskey barrels. That 1 upgrade that lets me act like I've got extra is a bump between an effective 5 victory points and an effective 8 victory points. So it's an extra 3 victory points. I think I'm going to get the scoring benefit, and I'm going to get this bump on my whiskey barrels to guarantee me, or close to guarantee me, that I will get the max 8 victory points at the end of the round. Cool. All right. End of my turn. Die goes. 1 stop. Goes here. Doesn't matter, sort of. Die goes again, because die is last place. Die goes 1. Okay. New tiles. Armadale Castle is out. Armadale Castle lets you turn in money for victory points at the end of the game, up to 8 points. Okay, now it's her turn. She hasn't gone in a while. Sucker. Okay. Now I believe she just starts over again. I think she just goes there and loops. Does that. Okay. All right. Doesn't care about Highland Games tiles. Cares about trades within 5. She's going to take my trade. Of course she is. I was really hoping she wouldn't, but she did. The jerk. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That's her trade tile. She's taking my trade. Now she gets to execute that trade. She gets 6 points just for taking the trade. And I give her 10 and pull back 4 to make change. Okay. Okay. Now it's my turn. Well, there is a loyal fan over here that is a person tile and lets me go up 2 on my shot put. That's pretty cool. She skipped over 2 people tiles to go after that trade tile. I'm going to make her pay for that. I'm going to go to get James and pray that this other guy doesn't, this die doesn't roll a 1. But that's fine. We got James the second. Gives me the ability to make another alliance out on the Scotland board. So I don't have any money, so it's got to be a free location. I think we go here. We get a clansman and $2 for free. The clansman goes on your home castle when you do that. So I have 2 clansmen left. My home tile is getting a little full. But so is hers. So is hers. I've got 6 to her 5 right now. So I'm only beating her by a point over there. And okay, that's the end of that person tile. I now have 4 people to her 1. Okay, now if this die treats me well and rolls like a 2, of course Loch Ness is out there, and Loch Ness gives you something good. Oh, what is that? Loch Ness is a good tile. Uh-oh. Maybe I want him to take the roll a 1. Oh, rolls a 3, but that's okay. No, it's not. That's Loch Ness. Bummer. Ah, but at least she doesn't get Loch Ness. No, neither one of us get it. That sucks. Oh, well. Oh, well. Loch Ness is gone. That sucks. Okay, I'm glad I didn't even pay attention to Loch Ness. I'm not too sad that it's gone, even though it's a pretty good power. Oh, well. Okay, let's see. There's another loyal fan. My turn again. Isn't that fun? I get a free person. Whoop. Okay, so this person was here. I'm taking this person. It is, ooh, I'm going to let you pronounce it. That's their name. I don't know. But I also get another clan marker. And now I have money, so I can make a little bit of a more advanced move here. I have $2. I can go pretty much anywhere, almost anywhere. Okay, now I've been building up for this. On my player board, on my tableau, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5? Only 5? Oh no, I thought that's right. This is an overbuild. Oh, bummer. I only have 5. Oh no, I need another one. Okay, well, I'm not going to do it now then. Here's what I was going to do. I was going to head over to Sutherland, because if you have 6 water tiles, you get 8 victory points. I'm 1 away because Inverness was an overbuild, so it only counts as 1. Ah, bummer. Okay. She's heading that direction, but I don't think she's going to get there before me, before I have a chance to build my last one. What else do I want to do then? Because she's on Clan McGregor, so I couldn't do that even if I wanted to. No, I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Don't have the money for that. What does Clan Macmillan give you? It's a one-time deal. Oh, I can just get rid of a tile. Ooh, wow. Wow. And getting rid of a tile at this stage isn't bad because you're kind of making your territory smaller. But it's not very sexy. I could just go after more money. There are some tiles coming up on the rondel that cost money to buy. So I could get my last worker and earn a couple extra victory points at the end of the round. I could, oh, that's true. That doesn't suck either. Okay. I could pull back one of my guys if I did that. I'm kind of doing okay in that front. So here's what I'm thinking. Macintosh lets my castles build for me as if I had clansmen on those locations. So I don't have to have them out there just to achieve adjacency in order to build, right? But I have so many guys with my home castle that even if I moved this guy off a castle stalker here, and then that would allow me to use Duart Castle to build over here, so that's valuable too. So I'd get a minimum benefit, but like that's an ability thing that you get early game if you can. I just don't know that I need it. Do a trade. I don't really have a trade right now. What does Monroe give me? Monroe gives me, there you are, Monroe. Where are you, Monroe? Monroe. Immediately choose one tile from the discard pile. Ooh. Ooh. And build in your territory without paying its cost. Ooh. Oh. If you choose a person tile, you still have to pay any road costs. What does that mean? Person tile. Huh. I don't quite understand what you mean by that. Oh, like if I take David Hume? No, because they wouldn't be discarded. I don't know what that means. I'm not going to take a person tile. Anyway, that's tempting. This is a big old stack of discards right here. Let's take a close-up look at that. So like there's the easy stuff. You've got like your producing buildings, and that's boring. I can take a a Highland tile. That's not boring. I could take whiskey, sure, but I don't really want those buildings. Those are production buildings and more production buildings. There's people, okay. No. It's an overbuild tile. We get another, those tiles. I don't know that there's anything in here that I really want that's worth clogging up the works over. Loch Ness. Here's funny about Loch Ness. In order to get Loch Ness, the Loch Ness monster has to kill one of your clansmen. Basically has to get eaten by Loch Ness in order to claim the land. That's pretty good. Okay, so Loch Ness I was sad about because Loch Ness gives me that. And that is a very interesting one. Loch Ness, in each of your turns, you can activate any one additional tile in your territory with an activation symbol on it. This tile does not need to be adjacent to Loch Ness or any other tile you activate. However, each tile can still only be activated once per turn. When placing Loch Ness, you first need to pay the Scotsman and then place the tile. The Scotsman needs to be taken from within your home territory. Ooh. And you can't place Loch Ness adjacent to the Scotsman you use to pay for the cost. Wow, there's a lot of detail there. Well, for one, I can't right now because I don't have someone near me or near those locations to let me build it. Loch Ness is a water tile, and I don't have a clansman out on the edges where I can build a water tile. So even if I wanted to, I can't take Loch Ness. That's super valuable. I wish I could, but I can't. I can't. Okay, those discards are cool. I just can't take advantage of that of Macmillan right now. Not Macmillan. I can't take advantage of Monroe right now. So I think, I could go to Chisholm and get my last clansman out. That would allow me to take the hit to get Loch Ness if I get another person tile between now and the end of the game. It would also let me move a worker out of there so that I could build Loch Ness. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use it as a prep action. So I'm going to go to Chisholm here, get my last guy. He's going to go there for now. I'm going to get a barley and put it wherever I want. I'll put it over here. Okay. Got barley all over the place. That's good. Got lots of fodder for whiskey barrels. Great. Okay, fine. It's not sexy, but it does set me up pretty well for an end game run at some scoring. So last but not least, I get to go again because guess what? She left me all alone back here. I don't want to build another just generic barley production building, so I'm going to skip over that. I don't need any of this. This is an overbuild. I can overbuild a ranch location. Oh, but hold on. That's powerful right now. Okay, so go with me on this. I don't want to do that because it would cost a sheep, and that would spend a lot of money on sheep right now. But okay, but look, go with me on this. So this is I think. This is a ranch tile. It's an overbuild. I have to spend a sheep, which I don't have, so I'd have to buy one in order to do it. But it's an overbuild, which then it says I have to overbuild a ranch location. This is a ranch location right in the center. Right in the center. So I would get 3 move actions. I would get a resource of my choosing, a wood, a barley, a wood or a barley, a stone. I could make whiskey. That's all in one. All of that would get kicked off by just doing that. I have to do that. I have to do that. That is a strong move. Yeah, we're doing that. Okay, so I'm going to spend my $2. Am I? Am I going to do that? I'll spend $1. I'll sell a barley for $1, and then I will spend $2 to buy. Yeah, I could sell a wood too. Not doing anything for me, but Armadale Castle's coming up, so I'll hold on to it. It's fine. I can sell a stone though. Nah, it needs stone too. Fine. I'll leave it there. Okay, but I bought a sheep, and that paid for the tile. Okay. Leaves me with only $1, which is what I was not wanting to do. But I had to take everything off this middle tile. I overbuild with the new tile that I just got. And that lets me, that does a bunch of stuff. So here we go. This is going to be a long set of actions, but I'll try to make it quick. This produces a stone. Okay. This lets me convert a barley into a whiskey. So I'm going to do that. I'm now full up on whiskey on that location. Okay, and then Here, nothing, except it does it is a move. I'll deal with the moves at the end. This is a barley or a wood. It's full though, so I can't produce. That's fine. This is a resource of my choosing. I'll choose a sheep because I don't have another sheep. Okay, now these two things let my competitors move up in the Highland Games. So they're both going to move up one step. Boop, boop. They both get these two upgrades. Cool. So what's cool is these two upgrades. This is another +1 for whiskey barrels, and this is a +1 on dudes on my home castle. So I now have 2 of those whiskey barrel upgrades. I don't need 2. I am outclassing her like mad in that department, but that's fine. Cool. She was never going to catch me on Highland Games because she just hasn't cared about them. Okay. Is that it? Oh, I get my 3 moves. That's right. I get my 3 moves. One here, one here, and one here. I'm going to move one of my guys here. And I think the other 2, I'm going to take 2 victory points instead because of McLaughlin. Thank you. Okay. Tile comes out. That was a ton of stuff. There's no way I shouldn't have done that. Like there's way too many production things that should have happened. Okay, this market gets filled back up, not with my dollar, but with one from the bank. Okay. This tile wasn't claimed, so it gets discarded. It's now finally her turn, but that's what happens when you skip ahead like that. I get to go do a bunch of stuff. Okay, she moves her people. And this goes this way. Okay, and now she doesn't care about Highland tiles again. That's weird, but all right. Now she wants a trade tile within 3. Nope, person tile within 3. Yep, loyal fan. She's going to take loyal fan. Like that. Okay, this says her shot putter goes up 2. Still behind me though. Sucker. Oh, does that? Yeah. Does she still get to do that? I think so. I think so. What happens when she takes those? Does it go up? I think so. I think so. One moment. Little details. Does it go up? Oh, nope. She just goes any tile which gains ranks. Okay, I see. Okay. So no, hurt doesn't go up twice. Both of them just go up once, as always. All right. Well, this is a person tile, so that goes here. That lets her put down roots. Oh, she can't be here. She's going to be here. Okay. So she's putting down an agreement there, and she's putting down an agreement here. A clan alliance. Cool. And then she gets 2 points because she got a person. And now this favor swaps over. Okay, new tiles. New tiles. Cool. Getting down to the end of the stack. Die's turn. 1. Oh, what am I? Oh, the die is going here? Great. Wonderful. Okay. And then now it's my turn. New tile. Another loyal fan comes out. Got to spend favor tokens to get that fan, though. Yikes. Okay. My turn. Armadale Castle is not useful to me, really, except to keep it away from her. Now, she's got 2 and I've got 4, so I don't really care if she gets 1 more right there. She does get another person on her home tile, though. I don't like that. I'm tempted to build it just to keep it away from her and to trigger more whiskey production, but I can't because my whiskey production's full. So what am I going to do there? Do I do it anyway? I don't want another castle for a castle's sake. Maybe I just let her have it. If that's the case, maybe I just go right to Robert Burns. Because then I can get an alliance and a person tile. And then finally get Loch Ness. Yeah. I think I do that. I think I'm going to go get Robert Burns and go get Loch Ness out of the discard pile. Because I'm set up to do it now. Okay, here we go. We're going to drop straight to Robert Burns. This might be a mistake. We'll see. Gives me another person, and I get another alliance. So on the alliance board, I'm going to come over. I have $1 left. So I'm going to move from Chisholm to Monroe for $1. Spend my last $1. That lets me take a tile out of the discard. Where is it? It was towards the top, if I recall. There it is, Loch Ness. Okay. So Loch Ness, I now have, because of my last moves that I got, I now have a guy in position here to let me build Loch Ness. In order to build that, I have to take a guy off of my home castle and kill him. He's dead. Well, he's discarded. But what does that mean? I mean, I can get him. I can get another clansman later and get him back. He's not dead and gone. He's just gone. He's just, that one guy got dead by Loki. So got that done. Loch Ness, the card comes to me. Loch Ness now lets me have an ongoing ability for the rest of the game. I can trigger any tile I want as part of an ongoing, part of a trigger action. I can say, and this one also. I could be wrong. I could be anytime I want on my turn, which would be really cool and really powerful. Okay, Loch Ness is built. And more importantly, that gives me my 6th river tile. So I really need to get another person tile that grants me the ability to make an alliance as quickly as possible so that she doesn't come along and snake that location out from under me. Because that's 8 points for me. And I've been gunning for that for a little while. So let's see if I can get it. That's the end of the turn for me. Oh, another person just came out. Nice. Now maybe I don't have to spend my fame tokens. Charles I. Cool. Okay, die goes. 2. 1, 2 takes Armadale Castle. That's great for me because that means she doesn't get it either. That's awesome. I knew I was giving that up, and I was hoping that she wouldn't take it, but that's so good that the die just killed it. Okay, cool. Now it's her. She is going to move her people because, of course, so she's going to loop. And then this is going to go here. Oh, no, it's not. It's going to keep on trucking to Macintosh. Okay, 2 or less. So she does care about Highland tiles within 5. So she's going to go after this loyal fan right here. The loyal fan was here. She's going to take that loyal fan. It is a person tile. So that goes here, and it lets her bump her competitors up. You can see that on that view, up one. So she's gaining on me, but she's not quite at me yet. But she also gains 2 points. 5, pull back 3. And she places alliance markers where she currently stands. So she took care of Sinclair. Sinclair's out. And she took care of Macintosh. Macintosh is out. All in one, those two ongoing benefits are gone in one shot, just like that. Should have got them while I could. Oh well. I think it was an okay strategy. Okay. So she got the percentile. She got the 2 points. She got the markers. She moved up her clan markers. We're done. Moving right along. More people. Hey. This tile is dead because nobody claimed it. Moving right along. Cha-cha-cha. All right. Die's turn. 1. Kills that. Die's turn again. 2. Triumphant Return is gone. That's a bummer. That could have been good for whoever grabbed that. Triumphant Return is a Highland Games tile, a new one, that lets you... we've gotten a person, and I believe it lets you activate everything within the column and row where you place the tile. But, oh well. Dead and gone. Okay, more tiles coming out. This round is reaching its end rather quickly, and it's my turn. All right, now we are on the right view, so you can see what's happening. So one thought is that I could come here and burn 2 fame tokens to get 2 alliance markers out on the board. Could be pretty lucrative. Is it worth 2 fame tokens though? We'd be tied. Right now it's 2 victory points, the next scoring point. Or do I just skip over that? But then I'm giving her 2, well, she doesn't care about those. She just cares about it being a person. She's going to block off more places for me, but I only really want 1 more anyway. The rest of it is kind of negotiable. So I think I just go for the easy win. Ooh, there's a trade tile though. Ooh, that's a good trade tile too. Let's hold on. There's going to be more people tiles, but there may not be this trade tile. Ooh, I'm glad I almost made a bad mistake there. Let's take a look. This is a trade tile that I don't want to give her for sure, because it's 4 points every time she activates it for just 2 resources. And this is 4 of, this is 4 4 different types of resources. Earns me 8 victory points every time I trigger this trade. And I'm in a position where I'm cranking out. I can produce anything. So I've got a pretty diverse set of stuff. So this is actually a good tile for me to crank out some victory points. And it's only a wood. So I think I'm going to get this. Now, question is, let's bump up here and do that. Question is, where am I going to put it? Here? No, it doesn't really trigger a lot, does it? This would be 3 victory points if I put it there, because I wouldn't move anybody. Could put it up here, but I don't have any more room in my whiskey production, so I'd be losing out on a whiskey production in favor of getting, and this is full, so that's no good. Oh, but here we go. Because it's going to cost me a wood anyway, right? So maybe I do this. Then I have the ability to build around it. And I would trigger 3 moves and a wood production, which I need because I'm about to spend a wood to build it. So that's as good a place as any. So we're going to spend this wood to build that trading location. It's a fairground location. And I get to conduct this trade. I have a sheep. I have a cow. I have a stone. And I have a barley. I'm going to take the barley from here. So that is a set of 4 resources that are not the same. And I'm going to trade all of them for 8 victory points. And more importantly, I kept the trade tile away from her. Okay. Okay, I think that was the right move for me. So then we get another tile out to here, to here. Now it's her turn. People move. She's closing in on my spot. I don't like it. I don't like it a lot. I don't like it. It's not good. Blue. Okay. Don't like that. She's coming in close. I need to go here, and she's 1 step away. I got to get a person tile now. That is north of 2, so this is a no. And then the next one is a trade. I stole her trade from her. The next one is an asterisk star. That's weird. Oh, asterisk star in this case is a fairground tile. So she does care about a fairground tile, which means she's going after this person, which is a fairground tile. So that sucks because, well, it's all right. It's okay. So this is a person tile, so she gets to put down roots. She's putting down clan markers again. Here and here. Okay, she blocked off her current locations. And she gets 2 victory points for the person. And because it is a, where is it? Oh, I put it here. That's not where it goes. It goes on the person stack. And it doesn't actually go up, make her go up on the Highland track at all. It was just markers when she got anyway. So cool. All right. I mean, that's not good for me, but it's not terrible. She is competing heavy on people now, though. She's got 4 to my 6, 7. That tile is discarded. Roll the die. 1. Roll the die again. 2. Taking James Watt. This is good for me because that means I'm going to come along and take Charles the First. But first, it's time to score. Okay. I'll just go ahead and fill these up. Oh, end of the game coming up. I'm going to have to read how that goes. I'll show you about how end of the game is triggered and all that goes in just a second. But first and foremost, it's time for scoring. So let's do fame. If we look at the Highland track, I am tops in both. So I get 2 fame tokens, 1 for each. She does not. Oh, but she does get the 2 stone, and she, yeah, she does get the 2 stone, and she does get 2 victory points. Because she did go up in these 2 tracks, so these would have been her benefits. So she gets 2 stone. That means she's going to be making some trades. Okay, so I got the fame, but she got the stone, so here comes some trade victory points. That's not good. So I come down, here we go. Okay, so that's that. First things first is fame tokens. I have 5 to her 1. And I don't see anything on her priority track about fame tokens or the Chronicle. So that doesn't impact anything. Cool. I get, let's zoom in on the scoring track so you can see it. It's on the top there. I have 5 to her 1, so that's a difference of 4. It means I make 5 victory points. Nice. And then people on home castle. She's got 5. I've got 5 plus 1 because of this scoring, this one-time scoring benefit. So that comes back out on here. So that means I win. I broke the tie with that tile and I got 1 victory point. Cool. Now, how many location cards do you have? You still have 2, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is a difference of 3. So it's 3 victory points, and she cares about these now. She cares about location cards. And so if I look on her board, location cards are here. She cares about that. So she's going to bring that to the front now. Because I've been doing too many locations and she doesn't like it. Okay. Whiskey barrels. Whiskey barrels are interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To her 0. And if we look on the score track, 5 plus is 8 victory points. So the difference of 5 or more, 8 victory points. 10 minus 2. She now hates that. Whiskey barrels go to the top of the list. Okay. People. She's got 4 people. I've got an effective 7 people. So that is a difference of 3. That's 3 points for me. She hates that. And now people are the front of the list. Okay. Cleaning her clock, as they say. Let's talk about World End. So World End is an interesting one. It's shuffled into the last stack. And because I knew this stream was going to go long, I shuffled it into the first half of the last stack. I didn't know where, but it was going to be somewhere in the first half. And I shuffled that stack really well first, so it could have been anything. But I didn't know it was going to come almost immediately on the top of the stack, because that's what happens when you shuffle things. Chronicle 5. Let's look at her scoring at the end of the game. Round scoring, fame. Okay. Is that it? Nothing? Nothing. All right. Now let's go to the Chronicle itself. Chronicle 10. World's End. Yeah. Changes to new rules, placing champions, training track and the track, claiming rewards, scoring rounds. Yeah. I thought I saw there's the end of the game stuff, but do I not? Is there another thing? Let's go see if there's like a non... here we go. Here we go. Magnificent at World's End. As Magnificent Scotsman approach the World's End tile, her seek distance will extend no further than to the tile before it. In the turn that her seek distance reaches that tile, if she does not acquire a tile from the available tiles, she begins her normal selection process again with the seek distance extending from the World End's tile. Okay. Got it. Okay. So what happens is when we both land on or pass the World's End tile, the game ends. It's that simple. Okay. So I need desperately to take Charles the First. That is I'm going to beat her to the punch come hell or high water. I took Charles the First out from under her. That comes on my stack. I get a clan marker, and I finally get to trade resources because I don't have any money to make it over there. I need $1. So let's go sell something, anything. I'm kind of light on resources, but let's just sell a barley. I just need $1. So the barley comes out. I have $1. I spend that $1. I now am going from here to, oh no, I'm going to go from here, from Ross, where I already have a marker, and I'm just moving one step. So that cost me $1, which I just spent. And I'm putting my marker on Sutherland because I've just made an alliance with Sutherland. And now I have 6 river or water tiles, and that makes me 8 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 water, 8 victory points. But that's a multi-phase thing for 8 victory points. But you know what? Why not? Okay. Got my person, got my benefit. We moving on. I'll go ahead and keep placing tiles because she will potentially be pulling tiles beyond World's End for her actions. But this is it, folks. What you see here to this World End tile, this is the end of the game right here. After that, it's just one pick for her, and that's it, maybe. So that's it. Let's see who's going to win this thing. Okay, she's going. People moving. Trucking down here. And now that I'm done that, she's going here. Okay. She doesn't care about Highland tiles. She does care about her priority. She's looking for people within 3. 1, 2, 3. No people within 3. She's looking for barrels. No whiskey barrels within 3. Sucker. She's looking for castles or water within 3. No. She is looking for castles or houses within 3. No. So she's exhausted her main priority tiles. So now we move on to these priorities, which are trade. There is a trade. That sucks for me. I don't like it when she has a trade. So she takes the trade and she takes the lowest victory point from that trade, which is 5. So she's going to take, I'm going to drop stuff on the ground. It's always good for the health of the game when I drop stuff on the ground because I have dogs and the dogs will make that component no more. Okay, 5 points to her for conducting a trade. Hate that for you. Okay, so she goes here. Now she has more trade options than she's ever had before. Don't like that. Of course, she's not making a lot of stone because we're playing this on an easier difficulty, but oh well. Okay. Is that it? That all it was? Just a trade? Yeah. Great. Okay. Moving on. My turn. Now, I only have a couple left. I don't really need more people per se, other than to keep my majority. I do not want to be growing my place anymore. I can do overbuilds. Overbuilds don't count towards things, and they can do a lot of triggering good. This Iona right here, this Iona Abbey would be an overbuild on this crate location, which would let me trigger everything on my land over here. Almost everything. A lot of stuff. I think I should do that. It only cost me a wood. I only have 1 left, but if I overbuild, and it will produce another one, so I'll get it back. That is by far, I think, the best option at the moment. Yeah, why not? Let's make this easy. So what we're going to do is on my land here, we're going to take this wood, we're going to spend it. And then we are going to take this tile here, which costs a wood, which I just spent, and we're going to overbuild this tile right here. And then, like before, when I overbuilt the one next to it, it triggers everything around it, including itself. So I'm going to bring my wood back. Am I? Looking around, it doesn't seem to matter. So yeah, I will, because it will trigger my trade. And oh, yes, it will. Oh, yes, it will. Oh, I'll be able to get my max trade value out of this. Watch this. Okay, so I overbuilt this. I got that triggered. And then here I get another resource of my choosing because I overbuilt this with a wild. And I'm going to choose to build a sheep. for diversity perspective. Oh, I won't. Oh, no. I can buy a cow. No, I can't. I don't have the money. I don't even have stuff I can sell. Bummer. I don't think I can make a cow right now. That's a bummer. Oh, well, I was one resource short. I can't buy a cow. I don't have the money. Bummer. Oh, well, I'll still get 4 victory points. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, I lied. A wood, a barley, a sheep, and a stone. 4. Yes, I can do it. Okay, never mind. I get a stone produced, which I do have room for, so I'll get that done. No, I don't get the stone produced. That's too far away. What am I talking about? Here is full. Can't do it. Here is just a move. I will deal with moves in a moment. Here, a trade. As I just said, a wood, a barley, a sheep, and a stone. 4 resources that are not the same are being traded in for 8 victory points. Man, I just cannot stop throwing stuff around today. I hope the dog doesn't get that one. Oh well. That's fine. I'll find it later. Hopefully. Okay. I got the 8 victory points, and now I have moves to do. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 moves. Well, I don't really want to build. So I think I'm going to move. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 moves left, right? We're going to leave this guy out here. But instead, we're going to recall these 2. 1, 2, 3. And then for my 4th move, I'm going to get a victory point because I'm not going to use it. Thank you, McLaughlin. Okay. Oh, yes. And my 2 competitors of the Highland Games, they trigger as well. So they both go up 1. Boop, boop. I don't have any barley, so I can't make that trade. I don't think I'm going to be able to go up 1 more. So I'm going to take this opportunity to take the 1 victory point. Yeah, might as well. Okay, and that is the end of my turn. Now the die goes. It is a 1, kills that tile. It is a 1 again, kills this tile. Great. Okay. Boom, boom. Put some more tiles out in case she needs them at the end of the game. I don't think she's going to, but you never know. Alexander Graham Bell just came out, by the way. Her turn. Flipping her last card, which will not be her last card. She does care about fair cards. There are no fair cards out before the end of the game. Or end of the round, anyway. She might do 1 more at the world's end, but still. So we're going to ignore that because there's nothing for her to grab. She wants a trade tile. There are no trade tiles. She wants a person tile. There is a person tile. She's going to take James Maxwell. James Maxwell was right here, and now it is on her stack. And she gains 2 victory points. And she gets to drop trade markers where she is. These are her last 2 trade markers. She's got none left. Okay. Okay, the die goes. 1. Kills that one. I was interested in that, vaguely, but not really. Here. Now she gets to go again, because again, I skipped ahead a lot. So that's okay. Okay, I don't think I need to pull any more tiles, because I don't think she can look ahead that far. So that's fine. She technically needs to shuffle her cards. We're so close. I just want to blow through this last couple of rounds to get this done and get this thing scored so you guys can see how the scoring goes at the end. Okay, these are shuffled. Burn 2. And okay, so she goes again. She gets to move. It won't matter because she doesn't have any more markers to put down anyway. Blue, she can't go there, so she's going to wrap. Purple, she can go here. Great. Technically, she could block me from going there, but that's fine. Okay. So now she doesn't care about that. She cares about trade tiles. No trade tiles. Cares about people tiles. She does care about paper tiles. That's what I was going to get. She's going to take my last person. That sucks. That's fine, though. Whatever. I didn't need it anyway. 2 victory points. 3. Pull back 1. And then she drops tokens, but she can't. So that's fine. At the end of the day, that's fine. Okay. Okay. Now it's my turn. I have a choice. I can either build this, which I don't want to do. So I'm going to skip it and go straight to World's End. Done. My game is over. Doesn't matter what the die does because she's going to take that. So the die is gone. Now, she, for her last action, looks... Is that her last action? I think that's her last action. Because she took a tile. Oh, well, no, because she's technically here. So she would get one more action. So I'll just flip it over and deal with it. She moves that, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going there anyway. And she's not dropping anything there. Doesn't care about that. Does care about that. Trade tile, no. Person tile, yes. I guess she does, but she doesn't have any more tokens to drop. So she is going to take this person tile. That sucks because now she's going to be directly competing with me. That's all right. 2 points. Okay, that is the end of the game. Now, I haven't done end of game scoring with all this shenanigans, so give me a moment. Fame, for the sake of argument here, let's take a look at fame. The last fame check is I'm ahead, so I get 2 more fame tokens. Then these come back down. This comes back down. That's that. These come off. These were scored last turn, so that's that. Okay. All right. Now, what did I say? What did I say? Magnificent at World Ends. Let's see. As Magnificent Scotsman, approach. Okay, yeah, right. Now, how do I score? The scoring round. End of game. Territory size.
What did he
As
say?
with human players. Thank you very much. I'm glad you were paying attention. Let's see. As with human players, Magnificence can lose victory points based on territory size. Determine Magnificent's territory size, count all the tiles she acquired or otherwise received during the game, including trade tiles, but excluding person tiles. But before we do any of that, we need to do last round scoring because we haven't done that. So the last round has just ended, so we do final scoring, and then we do the last adjustments like territory size. So first things first, I have 1, 2, oops. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 1. So that is a 6 difference. I get 8 victory points for being up on fame tokens. Pull back 2. Okay. Now, people on home tiles. So she's got 5. I've got a lot. I've got 7. So I go 2 points. Okay. Whiskey barrels. I've got 5 to her none. That is 4. 5 points to me. Okay. People. She went crazy on people after she got mad at me. So now she's got 7. That might be 8. Let me count. No, it's 7. She's got 7 to my 8. So I get 1 victory point for that. She caught up to me, essentially. We're going to make change from her victory points because I need change. I don't feel like digging through a bag at this point. I got 1 victory point for that. Okay, now we do look at territory size at the end of the game. And now what does it say for that? It says, count all the tiles she acquired or otherwise received during the game, including trade tiles, but excluding people. Okay, so here's all of her regular tiles. I managed to keep her down to 6 tiles and then plus 5 trade tiles. So that's 11 tiles, okay? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. She gets 1 victory point. -3. Oh, I lose 3 points. Oh, fine. Be that way. I lost 3 points because I have 1 tile more than her. I have no money, so I don't have any victory points from my money at the end of the game. And I believe that's all there is. Final steps. Magnificent gains victory points for any remaining stone. Oh, she has to do trades. That's true. Okay, so let's look at trades, because I didn't do very many of these because she didn't have very much stone this game. But from the left, this one requires 2 to make a trade. She has 2. In fact, she has 3. So she spends 1 stone and conducts that trade. She gets a victory point. Moving on, she needs 2 things to make a trade. She has 2 things. She's got 2 stone. So she makes that trade. She spends a stone to do it. She gets 4 victory points. 5 and pull back 1. Here requires 3. She only has 1, so no. Here requires 3. She only has 1, so no. Here requires 2. She only has 1, so no. She ran out of resources and could not continue trading. Okay. She now gains victory points for any remaining stone she is using, shown at the rate shown on top of north. Rate shown. Oh, okay, I see. Rounded down. 1 victory point per 2 stones rounded down. Okay, so that means 0 victory points because she's only got 1 stone left. Gains 1 victory point per coin in her supply. Wait a minute. When does she gain coins? I don't think she really gains coins, does she? In any case, I don't think she did. None of her tiles granted her any coin. She didn't sell anything. Oh, I think it's because like certain tiles would give you coin. Okay, well, she got no coin. Okay. Now, let me check if the Chronicle grants victory points for fame tokens. I don't think they do. Scoring for every... This is Chronicle 11, not Chronicle 10. There we go. No. 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 Change to scoring rounds. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, did that. Yep, okay. All right, now it's just totaling it all up. Well, that's easy enough. I think I did all right. I think I did pretty well. We might have to go and look at her score had we gone higher. But we'll see. 5, 10, 20, 35. 30, 41 points. 47 points. 47 points. I definitely won. So if we look at my points, she's at 47. Here's 60, 70, 83. Now, so 83 to her, what did I say? 10, 20, 30, 40 something, right? So I almost doubled her. In fact, I did double her, at least. So she would have been on this tile instead. So she would have been able to make 4 more points, or 2 more points from that at least. Okay, so she would have traded a few more times. Extra wool, when she takes the trade tile, she doesn't gain 1 stone. She would have gained a lot more stone, so she would have traded more. Yeah, I gotta say that the step from super easy to easy is pretty steep. I think she would easily have made 80 points at least to my 83. She wouldn't have acted any differently to the way she operated within the game. I feel like that is not going to have changed any. The priorities and all that stuff dictate all of her movements, so that's not the issue. The earning the victory points is the thing. She would have easily doubled her victory points from super easy to easy, because the first trade tile lets her trade 1 stone for 2 victory points instead of 2 stone for 1 victory point. That alone meant that she traded far less, and she earned at least half the victory points just from the lack of trading. And she would have produced stone every time she got a percentile. So she would have gotten 7 more stone, which would have given her at least 14 more victory points on top of it all, if not more, possibly a lot more. So, okay, I like the solo mode. I don't love it. I think it does a lot of things good. It does do a lot of that decision around like changing its priorities to match the things that you're kicking your ass on. That stuff works really well. She really competes hard on like the guys on the castles, and she competes hard out here on the clan board. She competes really hard out here. She does a lot good. She doesn't compete at all in the market though, and that feels really stale. This was good. The Highland Games competition, I felt like I really had to push. I was doing really good to keep her away from some of that and to keep me in some of that. Trying to think, as I'm looking at it, if you play it on super easy, you're going to kick her ass. If you play it on easy, you're rarely going to win, unless you're very good and you get very lucky. So like, that feels not balanced to me. But, does it do a good job in its solo? Yes. Is it fun to play? Yes. Am I interested in going back and playing that solo some more to see if I can get good enough to beat it on easy? Yeah, I think that would be a fun challenge. But once I manage to beat it on easy, I probably won't want to come back to it much. And that's a bummer. Maybe in future, if they do anything more, they've got so much content for Glen 2 at this point. I don't see them doing more, but if they do, maybe they can roll some other things out that smooth out some of those edges. But, all in all, Glen 2 is fantastic. And just looking at the game, I had no trouble really working the Highland Games stuff. I probably forgot to reward her a few victory points here and there when she went up on those early tracks. But she never got really high, so she couldn't get access to any of the good stuff in the middle. So all in all, I think the expansion works really well. I really like the added competition without really pulling away too much from the core game. The new tiles that were added for this expansion feel really good. The Highland Games, very thematic. I liked it. I thought it was great. I had a good time playing it. I really wish that she would be a bit more competitive or a little less cutthroat on the next difficulty up, because I think I would have enjoyed playing her on easy, not super easy. But as it is, here we are. I know we're running super long. It's a long game, so I'm going to not belabor the point too long. We'll end it here. Please hang out, if you don't mind, for the raid, just to give some poor souls some extra joy at the end of their day. And we'll see you again next week for another one. It won't be a big, heavy one, I can tell you that. It'll be some other new thing, I'm sure. But thanks again, everybody, for joining me every week. It's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed watching, and have a good rest of your day. Take care.